All right, guys, how are you? How are you, everybody? Using the music a little bit, and welcome to everybody that is watching this live stream. Thank you very much for being here with me, for your support. It is really cool. So I'm making sure that everything is set properly. Let me know if you're watching. Everybody, welcome to the chat. And we already have someone in the chat. Andrew Martisius. Welcome, Andrew. I think you posted a lot of things there. Let me type something here very quickly. Hey, Eddie, how you doing, sir? Aaron, all good. How you doing? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. The weekend is here, so excited. Very pumped for this video today. Thank you, everyone that is here. Appreciate it. Those who are watching right now and those who will come later to watch in the future. There's a lot to talk about today. We have a lot of things to discuss. So I'm making sure to have everything set up. All right, that is cool. So we're really cool here. But thank you, my friends. Thank you for tuning in. It's a pleasure to be here. Definitely there's a lot of things that we want to cover today. There's a lot of things that I want to discuss. A lot of collectibles. You know, every week, even though the week kind of started slow, but then it started picking up momentum. You know, by the last few days, of course, you know, always Thursday and Friday are the ones that you get the more. From Wednesday to Thursday, Friday, you get a lot of reveals. So there's a lot of things that I want to cover. I want to talk about today. Because definitely I think they're amazing things to talk about. So I kind of give you an idea. I'm gonna give you an idea of what we're covering today. We're gonna of course talk about action figures, starting with action figures always. I want to talk about a company called CCSTOYS. They produce a lot of I would say mecha stuff. They have some stuff that just went on for sale at Big Bad Toy Store. I want to look at some of the stuff to kind of get a glimpse of this company and what they're producing. Super 7, they released the Thundercats, the toy version figures, the 112 figures, without based on the toys of the original toy line. And they look great, you know, if you're into that kind of thing. And they're already available for sale at Sideshow. We're going to look at that. We're going to talk about Storm Collectibles. They also, at San Diego Comic-Con, they have some really nice figures, particularly a Balrog figure. And I want to look at that today. Another company called Tunshi Studio. This is, I think it's a Chinese-based company. I don't know if it's Japanese, but they do a lot of figures, particularly Mortal. They do Metal Slug stuff, SNK stuff. I want to look at some of the stuff today. Exo6 had a release. Hello, Statue Habit. How you doing, my friend? Exo6 released a new piece for the Star Trek Discovery. We're gonna look at that today. Hot Toys also has some new figures based on a movie that is coming in Hong Kong. It's the first time actually that Hot Toys releases something that is based on a Hong Kong film. So we're gonna look at that. On the statue side, we're gonna talk about Star Ace Toys. They have a new statue, a Spinosaurus. You're into dinosaurs, we're gonna look at that. Gomora Kick, you're into Evangelion. They have a figure, a statue that looks interesting. Taito releasing also another figure. Good Smile Company, you're into the anime, so we're gonna look at some of the stuff they have to offer. Kitsune, its statue. This is a French company that has been released. It's a new company that has been doing some stuff, and I want to look at the stuff that they are releasing, the stuff that they have for sale, and we're gonna go for that to Spec Fiction. I want to talk about Infinite statue. This Italian company, they're releasing a new 1/6 scale statue. Very interesting statue. Sideshow Collectibles, they released the Vox Machina Keelet statue, which was one of my favorite statues at San Diego Comic-Con. I think their art is nice. We're gonna look at that statue. Quarantine Studio releasing La Muerta 1/5 scale statue. This is another company that have talked in the past. They're small, but definitely they're coming with some of those licenses that normally are more rare, but comic book fans, hardcore comic book fans can appreciate. XM Studios is releasing the Maestro statue, which is going on pre-order tomorrow. So we're gonna look at the stuff, the pictures that are available. I want to look at the stuff that they have there for sale. PCS releasing a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Raphael, finally on pre-order. Another highlight for me at San Diego Comic-Con. We're going to look at that today. And finally, we're going to talk about Prime1 Studio. They have the Berserk Guts Berserker Armor Unleashed 1/3 scale statue that is on pre-order. And I also want to talk about some other stuff. You know, it seems like Prime1 Studio is doing the same thing. They're re-releasing some pieces with that different paint deco for the Reverse Red Dead and the Joker Bus limited edition, whatever that is. So we're gonna look at that. We're gonna talk about those things today. All is well. Yeah, Statue, we're doing good. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. I appreciate that you're participating. I appreciate everyone that is participating. Now, before we get into it, like I always say, please do not forget to leave a like and to comment in through the chat. If you're coming and watching this video in the future, you can always leave your comments. Let me know what you think about the video. And I always try to reply as fast as I can and talk about those things. Definitely, there's a lot to talk about. So just share that. Also share if you want to also help the channel. You can always go on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter. Just follow JP Sari and you will find the pretty much the links to anything. Or you can also support this channel financially through Patreon. Whatever you support in a monthly basis helps me to build the channel up and to try to produce better content. And also you can do that through Super Chat. That can also help. In any case, you know, let's just get into the things. But before we get into everything, and hey, Tudor, how you doing? Hope you had a good week. Yes, you has a good week, and I have some really good news this week. I had a lot to talk about. First, I want to talk about the podcast. Some of you may not know I have a podcast. It's Age of Heroes, and the link is also in the description. That podcast I started back in 2018. So technically in October 2018. So it's gonna be October of this year is gonna be 4 years since I started that podcast. I did 206 episodes total. I started first here, and then of course I went into and let me kind of give you an idea for those who are unfamiliar with that. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Let me see right here. I'm gonna show you, for those who are unfamiliar with my podcast, you can of course come to my channel for those who need that reference. Because a lot of people don't know that I have a podcast. And actually, the podcast started here at JP Star Reviews, Age of Heroes podcast. I have 69 subscribers, but this is my podcast, as you can see, which is really, really cool. And you can see all the different things I have there. You know, the last video, the last episode 206 was I produced back 4 months ago. Of course, because of my job, I've been able to do anything. I have a few interviews. I interview Omar from Near Mint Condition. I talk with him. Really nice conversation. Born Free. If you're into Street Fighter stuff, I talked to him a year ago. My good friend. In this case, I forgot his name. I'm sorry. It's Omar. I think that's his name. I talked to him. He's Omar? No, I'm sorry. This is my friend Anthony Perez. I talked to him. He's into movies. Another channel I recommend, Ed Bradley, the great painter. I talked to him with Ed. He's actually gonna be on PowerCon this weekend, so definitely, if you are in Ohio, then definitely come to PowerCon. More power to him. Support his. I think he's gonna have some sessions and stuff like that. But in any case, you know, talk about comics, collectibles, entertainment, all of that. I always love a good podcast. Well, you can listen to it, Eddie. Thank you for coming. You subscribe. Appreciate it, my friend. And I'm working on it. I had a problem with the podcast, and here you can see all the entertainment, Heroes Gaming. So I kind of took a break from it. You know, like I just didn't have the time because everything, as you know, with what's going on with my life. So I didn't have time to do the podcast for a while. And I talk about collectibles and everything that you can think of. But you know, I'm working on it, trying to come back. I plan it perhaps by September, we coming back strong. I was having some issues with the platform that I was using, which was Spreaker, which I never recommend this as a host, and I've been using forever since the beginning. But I moved on to another, it's Acast, and Acast has been fantastic so far. And I was able to upload all episodes into the podcast. So you can actually go to the different, you know, platforms that you prefer, whether it's iTunes, Spreaker, Castbox, TuneIn, Spotify, iHeartRadio. You can go to all of them, and you can actually listen to only just search for Age of Heroes, and of course there's so many episodes. I'm trying to come back, trying to make some changes, and also want to come back strong with more interviews. So something that I want to do. So I'm working on it already. So give me probably a month, and we get everything together. But I'm glad because finally I'm able to have all the old episodes that they were kind of lost because Spreaker was really bad at it. You know, you have to pay even more, and every time you pay whatever, it was a mess. You know, they only allow you to have a certain number of things, and you have to pay more money for things. It was just a stupid thing, the whole thing with them. But yeah, just tune into that. just support me on there. I would appreciate it. Yeah, he's a super nice guy. Omar is a great guy. I talked to him several times. So if we have that interview, he's a phenomenal guy. I talked to him several times. We're friends on Facebook too. He's really cool. Definitely, if anybody is watching, if you want to be into comics and you want to know what's going on in the worlds of comics and collected editions, then definitely Omar is your guy. He's a really cool guy. So I talked to him. In any case, going back to the stuff that we're doing here, there's also surprises that I want to talk about. A couple of things that I want to mention today. And before we get into the talk of the conversation of things here, I want to talk about some of my pickups. Like, for example, if you follow me on Instagram, I posted that I am a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles collector. I love the NECA stuff, but I haven't really collected a lot of these figures. Or I didn't get the chance to pre-order all that while I was just working full-time here on the channel, so I didn't have much cash flow. So I didn't get it. But now they're coming on Walmart. So I went to my Walmart, and I found these pieces, and I have this set. And I think all the news, a lot of it says that they're already sold out. They're coming back. And this one, what I like about this one is that they actually fix some of the joints, because on the original that came out, it has like the triple joint thing. So this is now they fix the more classic joint, which I like. I prefer this one. So that's cool. So I have this one. There's a little bit of lighting there, which is kind of, the light is kind of getting it, but I'm glad I got this set, and super cool. So if you're into this line, if you missed out, go for it. Then definitely, I think there's also they're gonna have the what is that, Secret of the Ooze figures that come in also, and of course they're gonna be at some point somewhere. They already the 2 packs, and this is the other one that I found, and there's other packs. So I still need to get the turtles, and I need to get the all the figures there to complete this collection. But I'm glad. I still need to open it. I might just end up reviewing them. There's tons of reviews out there, but I like to talk about these things. So this is the thing that I want to share. Yeah, nice pickup. The only thing I'm gonna complain about this one, how you doing, Late Night Trip? The only thing I'm gonna complain about is the price. I wasn't crazy about the price. It was $60 per pack, which is amazing. Is amazing to me that now figures are so expensive, particularly NECA figures. I love all the accessories. I love all the stuff. This is our really nice looking figures. It look really great. But $60, I think we're just crossing that threshold where everything is so expensive, particularly with this. And that is across the board. You can find, like, you know, if you follow me on Instagram, you know that I collect a lot of figures. And a lot of the figures are in the $30, $40 now mark. I collect Transformers, Marvel Legends, everything. I collect, even though I don't talk much about it here on the channel. But I do post the pictures on Facebook, because I like to go on the toy hunts. I like to go and just pick up whatever kind of catches my attention. But I do have so many figures to talk about. It's just real. Now, before we get into something else, I have 2 great pickups today. L3 movies are on HBO Max, and I do have HBO Max, so I am definitely going to check them out, because I love the movies. I love that. I like all of them. I'm a big Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan. I just love it. Also, I want to share something for my statue friends. Today was Christmas for me in the house. I received 2 statues that I was looking forward to, and I'm gonna kind of give you an idea. Look at that one right there. I got the Twitter head Superman, which I'm super glad finally made it. I need to review that piece. I am super happy that it's here. And not only got that Superman, I also got the Kotobukiya. You can see right there in that corner, the Kotobukiya Iron Man, and that piece, man, blows my mind. It's really nice. Both pieces are amazing. I gotta tell you this. Yeah, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is really hot right now. It's hot stuff, you know, because of the celebrations of the anniversaries and stuff. Looking forward to the game that is coming at the end of this month, the collection of all the games. Looking forward to it. I'm probably gonna play it on my gaming channel, whoever. I'll probably live stream it. But I'm happy for that Superman. I gotta tell you, I mentioned it that I did not get the chance to pre-order. That's the exclusive. I did not get the chance to pre-order the exclusive, but I was on the what is that, the Hello Agent 37. I didn't get the chance to pre-order that one because of course I wasn't working, but working like a regular job, so I wasn't making money. But I contacted, actually during the San Diego Comic Con, I contacted Chad at Twitterhead, and it says, hey, because I was on the wait list on Sideshow. I'm on the wait list at Twitterhead, but of course nothing is moving. So I contacted Chad and I say, hey Chad, I would like to get a piece. please, can you hook me up with exclusive? You know, like I'll you know, you can help me, I'll pay you for it. Send me an invoice. And he did. He sent me an invoice. He responded. He took a while to respond because of San Diego Comic-Con, but finally he reached out to me and says, hey, I have one. Do you want it? So yeah, I'll send you the invoice. He sent me the invoice. I paid for the invoice, and it is here. And I'm super glad that it's here. I'm telling you, that is the heaviest 1/6 scale statue that I ever had. You know, I have a lot of heavy stuff in the past, but it blows my mind how heavy it is. It is really solid. And I know I was a bit afraid that it would have some issues because some people are telling that there are a couple of issues. And to be honest with you, mine came without no problems. Everything seems fine. And I can give you an idea. These are of course, the exclusive. It comes with the extra portraits. And I know some people are complaining about the eyes being too small. And yeah, I could say the eyes are a bit small, but I'm grateful that mine doesn't have any imperfections. And I will tell you, the exclusive painted eyes, actually, and this camera is not the greatest, so I will have a review for this at some point, hopefully soon. I'm gonna work on it this weekend. But I will tell you that the painted eyes look really great in person, and that's what I have on I have that one. But these are huge, and I'm telling you, they are heavy. The whole piece is heavy, heavier than anything else I have here on 1/6. So and another thing that I noticed is that this 1/6 that they always produced by Tudorhead are a lot bigger than the 1/6 by you can see this face. This is Koto. A lot bigger. They feel more like a 1/5. Looking, I remember like this is kind of the same size of a 1/5 scale from Sideshow back in the day. So a comic kit. So to me that they are huge. But I'm glad, no issues. I'm super glad. It's super heavy. Thank you, Chad. If you watch this video, I will have my review. I will post some pictures of it on Instagram, maybe tomorrow. You know, I'm happy. I'm really happy with this piece, and thank you for hooking me up with this one. I love it. You know, thank you. You know, he helped me. You know, I helped him too because I paid for it, but I'm glad because now I don't have to be on the wait list anymore. But everybody, the collection is looking real clean. Very nice setup. Thank you, my friend. I agree. It's awesome. Solid piece. It is a solid piece. And I know some people have issues. And I will tell you, Chad was very clear. And I sent a message during San Diego, before San Diego Comic-Con, on the same weekend of San Diego Comic-Con. And he replied, said, yeah, I'll help you out. I'll get something for you. But then he didn't talk to me during the show. Of course, he was busy. And then he got back to me, and I thought maybe he forgot, you know, and then I got to me later. And I says, yeah, I have one. Actually, he took a week to get back to me. And then he said, I have one, and I'll send you the invoice. So he sent me the invoice. I paid the invoice, and it's here. It took nothing to get here. And it's perfect. Huge, heavy, amazing. Now I'm glad because I have others on pre-order. So I'm looking forward to John Stewart. Looking forward to... I don't know how I'm going to set up everything because it's going to be heavy. Now, that Iron Man, I will tell you, that Iron Man from Kotobukiya is awesome. I was amazed. I was impressed by it because the quality is really great, and that is also, both of them are artist proof. Actually, that also that is an artist proof, and I will tell you, it's awesome. That Kotobukiya piece, Kotobukiya has come a long way, and it completes the setup that I have there. I don't know what else they're gonna produce in the future. Of course, now you know, right now they just was that Magneto came out. I don't have that one. I will have it at some point, and definitely Cable at some point. But I think Kotobukiya has come a long way in the way they're doing things. I will tell you, they're amazing in the production, and it blows my mind. That paint job they have it looks like this red wine candy that looks so good. And to me, like, man, they should have done that with the Eric Sosa that I reviewed years ago, which is an amazing piece. The only thing that I can complain about that piece, not crazy about the bases, is the same concept they have. Another thing that I would say is that it doesn't have a switch out portrait like the Eric Sosa had. But beyond that, it's perfect, and it fits that collection. I need to review. I already reviewed Cap. I haven't reviewed Thor. I haven't reviewed Iron Man, but I will review it at some point very soon, I hope, you know, because of my schedule. I want to just make a video and talk about all the things that about those pieces. Amazing. So I'm glad today was a great day for me, all those pieces that I was able to pick up. Now let me read some comments before we get into more of the stuff here, before we get into the details today. JP Collection is looking real clean. Thank you. What's up, dude? Can't go wrong with Superman. Never. Superman should be a must. And there's something that I needed for so long. I needed a Superman. So I'm glad that I have, in my opinion, the best 1/6 Superman out there. Congrats on getting the exclusive Superman. Really cool piece. So some great paint overs. of it too. Yeah, this is, I was, because this is the first thing people were talking about it, and I was like, man, I hope I don't have to deal with this, because of course Chad hooked me up. I don't want to call him and says, hey Chad, thank you for helping me to get the exclusive, but I have this problem. And thankfully I don't have to do that. Of course, you know, like, being a piece, there are a couple of things that can be better, but there's so minor details, so specks of something here, there, they're hand painted, but it's just perfect. And I'm the weight, I actually assembled the whole thing, I unpacked everything downstairs, so I was a bit scared to carry, because I had to carry it through the stairs, and I was like, man, this is heavy for a 1/6. It is huge, but it's well done. It's well done, well set, and I love it. It's not hollow, the base is not hollow, the base is really heavy, and the piece itself is heavy. It's just perfect all around. And I will say, Memo did a fantastic job with it, and definitely he deserves the credit for that magnificent sculpt. On getting exclusive Superman, really cool piece. Eddie Rage agree, Superman is always a good thing. Definitely Agent 37. Well, thank you, my friends. Now let's get into it, because we have a lot of things to cover today. There's a lot of different things. This is definitely, I just wanted to share that because I'm excited. I'm so happy to look at it. I'm just happy. I'm happy. So that makes me more excited to and pumped for today, because we got to get into the stuff. So first, and now getting into the stuff we have here. Yeah, this is just my promo here. Let's get into the figures. I want to go to Big Bad Toy Store. Let's go there first. Let me know if the music is too loud. We'll fix it. We don't want to have music blasting your ears or anything. But there's a couple of things that I want to talk about here. Of course, we're going to talk about a few figures that, in my opinion, are amazing. I want to talk about actually two companies here that are doing amazing work here. A few companies. But I want to talk about... man, now I'm a little bit... I want to talk about this company right here. Well, this one, CCS Toys. CCS Toys, this company, that's a lot of stuff on pre-order. They got this Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann. And I'm a big fan of Gurren Lagann. It's an anime that I really love. And this is a figure, so it's posable. This is the Mortal Mind Lasingen figure. It's a $299, which is expensive for figures. This one is 9.5, 25 inches. It's not that big. It's made of plastic and alloy, so it does have material kind of like a die cast. This is the Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann anime. Highly articulated, includes several accessories for added customization. Now, this is going to release in September, so it's very soon. And I've seen some of these figures in Japan. This company, which is CCS Toys, it does a really great stuff in the sense of what they do. They do sell well in Japan. And I love these little figures for those who are fans. Now, but they not only have these little mecha things with all these different accessories. I think that's where the price goes. Of course, for a small figure like this, people will say, well, that's too expensive. However, as I mentioned many times before, don't simply say or don't simply assume that something should be priced certain way just because it's smaller. At the end of the day, it's all about demand. And there is a high demand for this type of figures. The reason why they sell for that much is because the market is always being crowded with them in one way, but also because there's always been a high demand and hunger for this type of figures. This come with a chair, with a throne, which is kind of cool. This figure has a lot of the possibility, you know, you can pose it in so many ways. So it has a lot of things and elements that make this figure very interesting. So this is the one, but CCS Toys doesn't have only that. Here you can see other figures I already have for sale. I was looking at this Getter Robo Armageddon Mortal Mind Shin Getter one figure. This is a very expensive figure, but I love this figure. I think it's really cool, the design. 10 inches tall, so it's not that big. But as you can see, really like the articulation and looks awesome. You know, to be honest, like, you know, I collect a lot of things. You know, I collect, you know, so many things. And sometimes, you know, I wish I could collect everything. Because this channel is not only fixated on statues or even certain figures. I love a lot of things. It's just what I love. I like to share here. And I like these figures. But of course, if I was a millionaire, I would have more stuff and a bigger house with more rooms for a lot of things to showcase. So I just do what I can. But it doesn't mean just because I cannot collect or I don't collect certain things doesn't mean that I don't like to talk about it. Because to me, it's like, I enjoy... It's like I'm a kid in a candy store. I'm like a kid going to Toys R Us for the first time back in the day. You know, I love to see those things, to enjoy the things, the beauty of things. And I love the art, and I love these companies are doing amazing stuff. Of course, this is not geared towards children. This is a market for adult collectors, and there's so many things that you can do with these figures. It seems like it has a light up feature too. So this is awesome. Or it probably shines in the dark, you know, something like that. Let me see on the notes if it says that. Oh no, it has an LED lighting effect, which is cool. It's made out of ABS and die cast, so it's really cool. This is a great figure. That's the reason it's so expensive. It's as expensive as the statues that I have. Then you have this Shin Messenger Zero. I grew up with Messenger. Love the character. It's $3.99. Also another one that is around 10 inches. Yeah, it's made of PVC, ABS, POM, and alloy. So it's made of all these materials. Very poseable. I just wanted to point that out because I think these companies are doing amazing stuff. The best figures you can find right now for, of course, Messenger. Although, you know, I grew up with the original Messenger C, so to me it's like, I love that design of the original Messenger. But of course, you know, Messenger continue on and evolve into so many different things, but it is cool. Definitely, I wanted to point that out for those who are interested, so that is very, very interesting. Now, I want to come to Sideshow Collectibles because I want to talk about another figure. I want to talk about Super 7. And we're going to, of course, cover a few things from the companies here. And definitely, there's a lot of things that I want to discuss. But everybody that is watching, welcome to the show. I want to talk about this new figures. And let me look at this. This is where the Ultimates, they were San Diego Comic-Con specials. They were like, they have it there. You can order there. So they're the promotional stuff for there. Now, looking at these figures, and of course, you know, they also have the Simpsons, all of that. But I love what they did. Also, they got this Cobra comic version. This pretty cool if you enter the G.I. Joe line. But I want to talk about this because I love the design. You know, I love, you know, in this case, as I mentioned many times before, I'm a big fan of Thundercats. I grew up in the 80s with the Thundercats, watching the cartoons, having the toys. I love it. And I wish there was a company. I wish actually my friend Eric Sosa was able to produce this because he did couple of prototype things. I wish he was able to do a line, you know, to sculpt it with a company, with his own company or another company. But the Thundercats line is so expensive. That's a problem right there. But I wish there was at some point in statues on 1/6. Hopefully a company can do it. Maybe Twitterhead gets the chance to do it because of course now they're starting with the Masters of the Universe and 1/6. We'll see how that unfolds. Maybe that really opens the door for them to start also doing Thundercat stuff. But these figures look great, I think. Of course, this is a repaints. I do like, of course, they got the Hook Mountain Ice, which is interesting. I personally like this. Actually, I like this deco of the toy version here. I like the paint job on this one more than the other figure they have. I feel that it reminds me, the colors remind me a lot more of the original toy, which I had when I was like, you know, as a kid. And I wish they have the same, you know, the same type of version. I think that would have made it awesome. But I think I love the design. Also, Lino Mountain Eye is great. Yeah, I think they look fantastic. I think I love the way. I love the two portraits. Of course, he has the red, of course, the claw, as in the color that was on the toy originally. So everything is just based on the toy, and I love this deco. I for some reason I like it more than the other. I like it more than the one that just had. And of course they all have the same, but definitely Lionel is my favorite. And definitely it's a really cool. It's part of the Wave 6. They also have what is that? We're gonna look at Lionel, the Hook Mountain Ice. I think that's a really nice color, as you can see. And of course you can go and get this, and it has the two different portraits and the different, you can see the different swords. So it has different accessories, which is not just a repaint of the other one. It does have different accessories, and that is cool, man. I'm telling you, that looks really awesome. And I love that they did the same concept with the box for those who love to display things in the box. That looks awesome. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like the Moonrat figure. Yeah, let's look at Moonrat too. These are great. You know, I would say Super 7, and I need to start kind of getting, maybe review some, because I have a few figures, but I haven't even got them out of the box. and I need to start getting that. The Moonra is just, of course, based on the original toy, so it does have that. I would say that I prefer the new Moonra, but of course, you know, like the reason of this is to go with the toy line, the original toy line. You kind of pay homage to that with this new versions of, you know, with articulation, all of that. I think it looks great. I like that portrait. It's really cool. Yeah, he looks great. I think the whole thing looks great. That's $75 though. That's the only thing. I don't know why they went $20 more than the other. Maybe because of the size, but I don't think it's that much, because some of the figures they have also as big as that in the same scale they have, and others they just not that expensive. What they still $55, even at Big Bad Toy Store. So I don't get it. And here you have Chitara. I like it. I like actually the face. I think the face is the best part of this one. And he does have the two different hairdos, which is cool. It's a nice figure. It's not bad. Of course, you know, you going with this line, and they definitely doing that. They're definitely doing right. And of course, Monkian, which is another part of this wave, and of course, based on the toy. I like this. Monkian looks great. And also, look at that. Look at the other portrait. That is a really cool portrait. The whole figure, the figures are great. I think Super 7 does great. Of course, people will complain about the price point, but believe me, these are the best figures that you will find for the time being for this. And I think they have a market for it. There's people that love this stuff, and I think it's great. So yeah, that is really, really cool. Definitely loving these figures. All right, my friends. Now I want to come back to Big Bad Toy Store, BBTS, and I want to come back to BBTS because I want to talk about another great two figures, another company that, in my opinion, also deserves a lot of attention. And here you can see the Thundercats Ultimates. You know, these are great. All the figures are great. Some of them already, the Wave 5's already on the store, so gotta jump on those. I gotta jump on those. You know, like I've been skipping some of them, but I want to talk about these two figures right here. I want to talk about you know, Ultra Street Fighter 2, the final challenge is Balrog 112, also known as, for those who are unfamiliar, Bison, Mike Bison, as is known in Japan. I love this. This is the BBTS exclusive figure, so it's only exclusive to Big Bad Toy Store. That's the reason I'm going to pre-order. The price is crazy though, $89.99, but I'm definitely going to get this one because I love this figure. So 112, it comes with 4 head sculpts, shirtless body part, dust effect piece. That is awesome. Now, to give you some reference, just to give you an idea, because for those who are, you know, like I love Street Fighter figure. I'm a big fan of Street Fighter. You know, back in the 90s, I was playing Street Fighter. I was in the arcades. I technically grew up in the arcades. As, you know, it was my teenage years in the 90s. And as a teenager in the 90s, I definitely spent so much time there. So Street Fighter was the thing, you know, for me. And one of the figures that I love this Balrog right here. You can see this is Balrog. This is the Soda Toys. Came out many years ago. Love this figure to death. In my opinion, one of the best Soda Toys ever. There's other figures in the Soda line. For those who are familiar with Soda Toys, this is the company Jerry Macaluso, the founder of PCS Collectibles. Before he went into PCS, he had this Soda Toys line, and he was, you know, he built all these figures. Fantastic collection, a collection that had a lot of Street Fighter figures. I love this one. The only problem with this figure is that the articulation and the legs wasn't that great. But man, I love it. You know, and I reviewed this some years ago. You know, it's a retro review, but love this one. Love it. I haven't had it for years. It wasn't the package for years until I decided, you know what, let me open it. But this one came with 2 different portraits. Like, had this one, love this one, love the one with the eye. Definitely, this is the face of the Alpha, based on the Alpha games, and this is something more based on the classic games, on the regular Street Fighter. Also comes with interchangeable hands, grip hands. Love this one. For the time, I will tell you this, and this is heavy. The only problem with this one is it's top heavy, and it can fall a lot, so you have to sustain it. But for the time when this came out, over, I don't know, how long has it been since this came out? It's been 15 years ago, perhaps, or more than 15 years ago. It came out 15 years ago. It's still, this figure still holds the test of time, you know, like in the sense, you know, it was good for the time, for many years, still one of the best, unsurpassed. But now I think, and there's something, you can hear something, I don't know, I think it's the articulation. But the thing is this, it was unsurpassed for many years. I think so. I think now that this is the better figure. I think this is surpasses. And of course, it still has some of those ideas that were implemented there with the articulation. But I gotta be honest, this figure looks amazing. You know, if you're a Street Fighter fan, this figure is super, super awesome. I love the articulation. I love, you know, like the problem that I have with this figure was when looking at it, it's just the dimensions were a little off. Of course, you know, for the time it was awesome. It's still awesome. It's heavy. But I think this one is better. You know, it's of course based on the Ultra Street Fighter, also based on the classic game, but it looks amazing. Love the detail. I think the proportions are better. It uses the Super 7 articulation, the butterfly articulation that I think is good. It has interchangeable portrait. Look at that portrait. That's cool. And the shirtless also torso that is coming with it. That's the reason it has all these little things. Of course, they make this figure so good. You know, for someone, it's time for me to start kind of changing the tune. And I've been talking about some collectibles in the past, but I haven't been collecting some collectibles as much. I think I need to get it more into the Street Fighter stuff. That looks really cool. Definitely they did a good with this figure, and definitely it's very poseable with all this new articulation. That's something that this one, the old one, didn't have as much. It was more limited on the posability. You know, you couldn't do certain things, but this one actually improves on those limitations that this one had. But definitely that's, you know, I think this is a better figure. Look at that. And it's going to be bigger because this the Storm Collectibles are a little larger than the Soda toys were. They used, you know, they were big, but the Storm Collectibles in comparison are bigger. So I'm glad that they have, of course, here you see the different portraits, the different accessories, even the dust that he has on his feet when he's doing his super power moves, you know, the power-ups and all that kind of stuff. That is cool. Definitely cool. They did a really nice job with that one for sure. So yeah, as a Street Fighter fan, here, let me read the numbers. I have my eye on this. Anything Street Fighter, take my money. Yeah, pretty much. Street Fighter is my thing. It's been my thing for many years, and I still am a sucker for Street Fighter. I still doing it. Now, this is not the only thing that went on pre-order this week. Also, they got another piece that was also showcased at San Diego Comic-Con, Guilty Gear Strive, Soul Badguy. I haven't really gotten the chance to play this game, although I need to because I'm also a big Guilty Gear fan. I love fighting games as a whole, but I haven't really had the chance to play this one. There's so many things that games that I have that I haven't gotten the chance to do it. But I love this one. They're doing really good with this one, with this style. I love the articulation on Soul Badguy. Looks really great. And definitely I love these figures, and definitely some collectibles. When it comes about some of these anime fighting franchises, whether it's Mortal Kombat, whether it's Street Fighter, Capcom franchises, and now Guilty Gear and all that, I think they do fantastic. A lot of the gaming franchises they use, and their figures are awesome. That articulation they use, the butterfly articulation. Some people are not fans of it because of the way it looks, but to me, I think it's perfect. Allows for a lot of possibility. You know, you can pose this in so many different ways. You have the power-ups. Really a nice figure. I like this one. And definitely there's different portraits. The back looks cool. The sword. Yeah, that is a nice figure. You can see everything that comes with. There are 3 different portraits: the sword, the fire, the effect, and the hand. So that is cool. That's another winner in my book. That is even more expensive than Balrog, you know, because of the little accessories. It's almost $100 coming out in the first quarter of 2023. I like it. It's another 112 figure. So if you're into those figures, definitely you need to check them out. Let me drink some water before we move into the figures. I want to talk, and we still hit the back toys. We're going to spend a little bit of time here at Big Bad Toy Store because they have a lot of stuff on the figure side. And let me see if I can find it here. And they have a lot of stuff here. I think it's not here. This is the thing with Big Bad Toy Store, because they move really fast on things. Like they constantly they deal with so many different statues and figures, and particularly figures, so they move very quick into some things here. But I want to talk about a company. Let me see if I can find it here on the thing. Let me just drink the water first. Oh, water's good. All right, I'm gonna just type it in. All right, I want to talk about Tunshi Studio right here. So this company is another company that I don't know if it's based in China. I know that they do a lot of stuff in Japan, and they're almost brand new, but they particularly are dealing with a lot of SNK stuff. Here you can see the figures that they did. These are 112 figures, the same size as the Storm Collectibles, the same size as the Super 7, is the same scale. So these figures are, if you're into Metal Slug stuff, they have this collection. You have Fiolina, they call him there, but it's Fiona as we know it here in the West in the game. And she looks great. You know, he has also I see the butterfly, this case, ankles and joints and stuff like that, which is cool. The articulation that you see, I love this. It does have like some type of Fio has some material there, so it has like a mixed media thing. It's a very tiny, but it has with different weapons. If you're really into Metal Slug, which I'm a big fan of Metal Slug, I love SNK. My favorite Metal Slug is always gonna be Metal Slug 1, followed by Metal Slug 2. And of course, but I have played all the Metal Slugs. I play all the, whenever I get a chance. I love this franchise. And of course, SNK has made a lot of money out of it, by actually rebranding stuff. But it comes with so many accessories, as you can see. So you can do all sort of things for this figure, different weapons, which is kind of cool, power-ups. This is the other figure also that is a companion to it. And here's the other guys too, the whole Metal Slug collection. But it comes with so many different accessories, and of course has a stand as well, which I like the stand that they use. And this is a stand, like a classic stand they use for like Hot Toys, which I think is a perfect stand for the stuff that they want to achieve with this one. So this is cool. Also, they got the Metal Slug, the 3 Rebel Soldiers. This is, of course, like their soldiers that you kill in the game. And I like this. It is really, really cool. That is really awesome. Even the portraits on these figures. Really looking forward to really see this in person. Like I want to see them in person, because you can see the different weapons, the rifles, the different things. I like it. Definitely. These are different. It's pricey though. $189.99 I think is steep. Again, they have mixed media, so that might justify the price for some people. But I'm looking at some of the notes here. All right, so this is here. You can see Rosie, the main character, always been. Look at that. The mixed media, definitely like great detail on the weapons. Grenades, shotguns. So he has different guns, man. A lot of accessories for these figures. You can see Marco. Well, actually, the name, this is Marco as we know him. Marco Rossi, yeah. And then we have also Tarma, who is his friend, and the second player, the second player in the game. On the second one. And the first one too. Was he in the first? Yeah, he was in the first one. Love the smile. He has the fire coming out of that. So they have even different. It's not like they have some interchangeable accessories, but at the same time they also have unique accessories for each character. And then you have you have the watermelon right there, of course, because that's how you get life. Also points in the game. I don't think it's not life, but points. It's cool. It has a lot of things. I love this, but $144 is expensive if you really look at it. But hey, if you're a Metal Slug fan, you're gonna love it. Now, this company also produces SNK stuff. They don't have everything that they have for sale here at Big Bad Toy Store, but they have other things in Japan. But I want to look at this. This is the 1/6 scale Mei Shiranui. If you're into the King of Fighters, of course, Fatal Fury. That's when the character was introduced, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it was what's that? Fatal Fury. And you have Mei Shiranui. You can see this is based on the King of Fighters 97. This is a 1/6, $214. It's expensive for a 1/6, but this one comes with what I like about this figure is the fact that it doesn't have this pretty much the cover joints. so you can bend the arms without having to see that ugly articulation. The same with the legs. I love that they did this one. I think she looks great, and even the porter definitely looks like the art, or in this case the promotional art from King of Fighters. She looks great. I think as a figure it's expensive, but of course, you know, make sure it sells well, because of course, you know, the proportions of the character. She's definitely busty, and I think that's just been the reason why she's still popular after all these years. They definitely did a fantastic job with this figure. If you're a King of Fighters fan, and of course has the accessories with it, and she looks great. And definitely, I love that. I love that the fact with the joints, you can do all sort of things with it. You know, because you don't see that articulation like you see with other figures. That to me makes it really a nice figure. Now, looking at the portrait, it seems to me that she may have different portraits. Like the face looks different at certain angles. Here you can see there's a lot of plenty pictures. Oh no, you only have one. I don't know if you can actually position her lips, because the lips look different in certain angles. Maybe just me. It does have, of course, the base, which I like, the different hands. So it does come with some things there and there. And when we look at the description, yeah, it comes with the figure alternate. Oh, it has an alternate head sculpt, like I mentioned. Yeah, there's two different ones. One where just a bit more kind of like a little smile, open mouth, and the other one is closed. 6 pair of hands, paper fan, an umbrella, fire effect for fan, base, and the bracket. So I think it's a great figure. $314. I think it's not a bad price for this figure. So yeah, not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all. All right, my friends. Now I want to move into. I want to come to. In this case, trying to see where we at. Just give me a second. All right, I know where we're going. We're coming to Sideshow. And the reason we're coming to Sideshow, well, actually, I want to come to X06 first. Let me see if X06 has this figure, because normally they have it there, but also you can pre-order through Sideshow. And I don't see it here. Maybe they move. All right, this is based on Discovery, so we'll see what we have. Okay. They had this figure, the DC Commander Saru immediate purchase. So you can actually purchase this here through X06. However, there is no like special edition here or anything like that. So you don't really have to go through X06 if you want to order through X06, which sometimes is cheaper. $215 plus 25 flat rate international shipping per figure. That's the international flat rate, which is, I think, is fantastic for a figure like this. But in any case, you can come to Sideshow. And now we're going to look at the piece here, because I think the pictures here are going to be better. I know a lot of people feel more comfortable ordering through Sideshow. You know, for obvious reasons, the company has some good things. Now look at this. Let me come here. Let me see if I can find it. All right, right there, Saru. It's right there, $215. Of course, it's gonna release between September and November of this year. I think it's a phenomenal figure, and it's 13.75 inches tall, which is within the 1/6 scale. What I love about this company is that this kit, you know, the size of he really cares, the owner of the company, and have the appropriate scale. Not only everything has to be the same height, like sometimes Hot Toys has everything has the same height. With Exorcist is trying to kind of make the height according to the character and the series and the TV, so people can see the actual height. Not everything is the same, so I love that from him. And here you can see the figure, really well done. Also was showcased at San Diego Comic-Con, and the display for Sideshow and for Sideshow they had it on display. Here you can see with the other figure how tall he is in comparison with this other character. So this is what I like. He is definitely a respecter of the scale, the height, the actual scale. Because instead of just doing like companies, even Hot Toys does this, they just swap the same body. They use the same body mold for everything else, and they just put different heads and all that. But X06 is trying to change that in their own way, because they want to give you the actual 1/6 scale of the figure, of the character. They want a representation in 1/6 of that. And to me, that's great. I think he looks fantastic. He's really slanky, tall, and you can see it right there. The different weapons. It's a phenomenal figure in my opinion. And definitely this company keeps growing and expanding. You can see the height difference. That to me is awesome. I like when a company, that's attention to detail for me. The price tag isn't bad either. I think so too. I think $215. I think it's just a perfect price. When everything has gone Hot Toys, the average Hot Toys is $300 now. That's just on the low bowl thing. If they've already been sitting down forever, they drop it to $275 or $220. I've seen some to $225, but that's just at the low bowl game. Figures that have been sitting forever that nobody really wants anymore. But for the average, it's $300, $350, which are seeing those figures. Even $400. Some of the stuff that just came out, like the Iron Man, of course, has diecast elements, RoboCop. Those are on the $400, almost $500 mark. With the shipping cost, is going to cost you like that. I think these are great figures with all the hands. Small company, they don't have the same, they don't make the same production numbers as bigger companies. So also another thing to keep in mind, that also make these figures highly collectible. So when you come to order, make sure that you order before they sell out, because it's not like there's going to be ample supply later down the road of these figures. It's not Hot Toys like it's just charming figures. They don't have that. So something to keep in mind. And if you're really into a particular, I have pre-ordered a few of the Exo 6 figures, but not necessarily as a big fan of this Discovery, or not necessarily a fake fan. It's not like on my top list of that. So of this figures or this character, I'm more into the classic stuff and some of the stuff that happened in the 90s and the early 2000s. So but I still think that it's a fantastic figure. I think they did a fantastic job, and Exo 6 deserves praise for doing what they did here. Now let's talking about figures, and we're moving into Hot Toys, which while we're here, why not? Let's talk about the Hot Toys, because they're also producing stuff. So here we are. There's two figures that they're releasing to this week. We got this Johnson and this Tyler. Now, these are based on a movie that is actually coming. It's a Hong Kong movie that is going to be, I think it's going to premiere on the 22nd, I was reading. And called what is the name of the movie? I'm sorry, because it's not even here. Warriors of the Future, Warriors of Future, or something like that. I think it's Warriors of Future. That's the name. So this is technically a movie based in Hong Kong base. It's Hong Kong based, and I was reading some comments. People saying this is the first time. $220. It's going to release in July, between July and December of next year. The first time that Hot Toys releases something that is actually, they're based in Hong Kong. They're a Hong Kong company, but they have made their money by doing and by supplying the demand of American properties, American Hollywood properties. So, European, anything that has to do with Hollywood, they've been supplying for years. But they have never really tackled some of those, in this case, licenses that are actually based in Asia, particularly in Hong Kong, which is the pretty much the nation they're part of. They're part of Hong Kong, although it's a city-state. It's a city, but still a country in its own right. Regardless of what China says, of course, we have seen. If you keep up with the news, you know that there's a lot of stuff there. But what I like about these figures, it's just the level of detail. I love everything that has to do with military tones. I love weapons. I love all of that. I love that. And I think the figure, and I'm looking forward. I want to watch this film. I don't know if it's going to be available at some point here. I don't care if I have to read the translation. I read it. I just want to watch the film because it looks interesting. And these figures, in my opinion, look amazing. With all the detail, the different weapons. Love that. The tactical element of this, that to me is great. And they look fantastic. With the quality of Hot Toys, then definitely this is something worth checking out. And let me kind of show you this. This looks great. Look at all that. Even this, like, I don't know if it has light up features, but all the different weapons, man, I love this figure. I think this kind of do really well in Asia. So I'm glad that actually Sideshow is bringing it here too. $220, I think is fantastic. And there is another, another character, Johnson. This guy also looks great with all the tactical elements of this. Even the vase looks good for what they have here and different pose. And I like those helmets that they switch out portraits like that. That is awesome. That is really cool. Yeah, the detail in this piece is amazing for sure. Yeah, Hot Toys does amazing work for sure, and I was blown away by that stuff. And if you follow me on Instagram, you know I just got, and I need to unbox. I need to unbox it. I need to review it. The Captain America. Let me see if they don't have it in the box. I still have it in the box. I probably have it on the shipper box, but I took it out of the box to look at it and all that. But I'm gonna open it at some point. I'm gonna review it here in the channel. These figures look amazing. They really do. Definitely, that's cool. And I love the rifles and stuff like that. All right, I just wanted to show you that, just for those who kind of give you an idea. Here you have, just have the Hot Toys. This is the Captain America. Yeah, the Captain America Avengers Endgame. So I have this one. I'm gonna review it as soon as I can. So I'm telling you, now that I'm back to work, which is a blessing. I'm grateful. I'm grateful first and foremost to God, because He's been faithful to us, to my family, to myself. I'm so glad that I'm able to acquire all the things that I love, and it's been good, and God is always good. And even through the economy can be tough, I think my trust is not in the economy, it's not on the government. My trust has always been on God, and that's all I do. I go to work, I do my job, I do what I need to do, and things happen. I just try to be a good person, try to help people, and but most importantly, I try to be faithful in what God has given me too. And maybe it's another one I wanted to share here. I don't know why I came to say that, but I think it's important in life to have goals. Like the world's always changing. There's a lot of things that happen in the world with the economy and all that, and people complain about a lot of things. I try not to complain much here, because at the end of the day, I think we all have things we deal with. Whether it's financial, whether it's health-wise, whether there is family, whether there is problems here and there. But I think at the end of the day, one of the reasons why we collect things is because we love this. It's an escape of some reality. But at the same time, it's not about just escaping reality. It's about just embracing the good things about the things that we have. Like the reason why I embrace this culture, these things in my life, is because they remind me of good things. Good things, values, and things that I appreciate. Heroes and stories. All of that is just it's an image representation of what life is about. Like the challenge that we all have to face. All right, with that. That aside, now I just wanted to show, I think Hot Toys does amazing. That's bottom line. I think Hot Toys does amazing work with the figures, and definitely they did a really nice job on. Now let me read some of the notes here. Let me see. Well said. Thank you, my friend. Well, at the end of the day, I think the beauty of this, the reason why I love to sit down here at the end of the week and be on this microphone, and the reason why I've been doing videos for almost 10 years now, is because it was a way for me to really to deal with a lot of things that I was dealing with back then when I started. But I think it evolved into being able to share myself with other people and to be, myself, because the truth of the matter is that, like I always love comics, I love heroes, I love toys, I love all of this, but it's, whatever I was, there was not always people that I could talk to about those things. There's always, everybody has their own passions, their own things, hobbies, but there was not many people that I could share some of those hobbies. And the channel became that outlet where I was able to express my ideas and talk about the geeky stuff and being able to be myself. And I think that's something that up to this day I am. The reason why I come here on every Friday night is because this is my zone. This is where I'm really excited. And I appreciate all of you that take the time to come here to talk to me and to listen to what I have to say, because I believe that you also have the same ideas, the same feelings. We are in our zone, like something that sometimes, unfortunately, you don't get to do much in the world, but here I get that opportunity, which is to me awesome. Like they able to talk about the things that I love. Yeah, other people love to do other things on Friday night. I just like to talk about collectibles, comics. That's my thing. Movies. That's my thing. All right, my friends, it is 9:03. We almost been here an hour doing this, and we talk about figures, which is awesome. But I'm gonna take a quick break, very quick break, so I can do some things. And then I'm coming back, and then we're gonna hit the statues. You know, we're gonna hit all the statues, and definitely there's a lot of things. We're gonna go, you know, by scales and move forward into the big stuff and in the bigger statues and the big companies. So, my friends, stay tuned. You know, time to take a break. If you need to go to the, you know, go to the bathroom break, or you need to get a snack, just do it now. I'll be right back. All right, guys, we are back. We are back. Thank you very much for your support. Thank you for those who have been watching this since the beginning. I appreciate it. I appreciated your constant encouragement through your words and also to be part of this channel. I appreciate it. Now, today, moving forward, now we're gonna get into the statues. But before we get into it, I want to say to all of you, again, thank you. But also, if you're watching this, if for some reason, I know sometimes the reason why I have to take breaks also is because the night can be very long, and it definitely takes a toll in my body. You know, like I cannot really sleep if I'm sitting down for too long. I just cannot sleep. I just can't. You know, I'm in pain. And in order to do that, I have to get up. I have to move a little bit, maybe drink something, do something, take the dog out, all those things, and that really helps me out so I can concentrate on things, and I feel better that way. Definitely, if you are here and you cannot be here all night with me, all the hours that we spend here, you can always come in the future, and that's the reason that the following day, normally on Saturday I do that, but sometimes I have to do it on Sunday depending on my schedule. But I get the timestamp, so that way you can, if you're all interested in watching, even in the future, a part, if you missed that part, but you want to talk about that, you want to hear my thoughts on that particular collectible, then you can go to that section on the description. You can go into the timestamps and you can choose to go there. And that helps, you know, really that way, because there's so much stuff that I talk about, and I know not everyone is interested in everything. You're here perhaps only because you want me to talk about something in particular. But because my mind is all over the place, you know, that's the best way to do it. But I try to help you out, and also helps me out. That way you can simply go and skip the things that you don't care about and go into the things that I care about. So you can always do that. Don't forget, again, if you're watching this, don't leave a like, subscribe, follow me on social media, all of that. Also consider supporting the channel financially through Patreon. All right, now putting that aside, let's get into the statues because there's so much to talk about. And we want to start first. I want to come to we come into Sideshow. We stay on Sideshow. We're already there, but we're gonna be here because I want to really check. First, I want to talk about some of the all the stuff that comes out, and there's a lot of things that I want to cover. And different companies for different things. Some things we will skip. I'm not as interested. I'm trying to choose the stuff that interests me the most, or the things that I care the most. And I want to talk about this Spinosaurus, which I am, as I mentioned in many other videos in the past, I am a big, you know, dinosaur fan. I love dinosaurs, so it's something that I care about. This is Star Ace Toys Ltd. This piece is made out of, in this case, polyresin, which is good. Normally, Star Ace also produces a lot of vinyl stuff, but this is polyresin, which is cool. And this is gonna release sometime between November of this year and January of next year. There's two different versions. The collector's edition, which is this one, which is the regular. This is the way Sideshow kind of names things. Collector edition, it's just a regular statue. And then you got the deluxe version that comes with an extra thing. So let's look at the deluxe version. Has everything. And Spinosaurus is 32 centimeters, so it does have a little bit of the size. Let's see if we can kind of give you an idea scale wise. If it says right there on the height is 6.69 inches, which is 17 centimeters. The width is technically the length of that. It's 12.59 inches, which is standard. So it's not really that big. It will be something like this. It's not a big statue per se. But what I'm looking at here is that it's sculpted by Sean Cooper. That's the sculptor here. And it looks cool. For those who are interested, they create kind of like the effect with the paint that he is underwater, which is kind of interesting if you come to think of it. Now, different angles. The base is simple, I can say that. This is a series called Wonders of the Wild, which is an interesting name for this. But yeah, it does the effect. It'd be nice. Like, I think Prime1 does the best dioramas for, you know, of course, with Jurassic Park, Jurassic World. And they love the effects that they do with the water. Here, you don't have that. It's just the picture itself. But it's not going to be like that. It's just the effect that they're creating with that. It's just the statue itself. It's an interesting paint job, actually, with this creature. Historic creatures and polyresin statues. And here, of course, this is the prey. It's already heard. About to eat. And then you have this sculpt base of the original Spinosaurus fossil, Okay, this is the original. This is what acts to this particular thing. It's just this. This is the first Spinosaurus that was found, and of course this is a fossil, so they do kind of like a replica of that, which I think that's what adds to the price of this creature when it was found. It's really, really cool. So that is what you get as an extra. So I think this is definitely for the fans of, you know, dinosaurs. If you're into dinosaurs, then definitely you're going to appreciate this statue more than anything. It says paint job in water, nice touch. Yeah, I think that's what they did here. You can see the paint job of the effect, kind of like a 3D effect, and they do the same thing also with this creature or everything. You can see like the water effect of the sunlight, the sunlight going through the water. That kind of cool. It's a cool concept without just having to do like the clear resting stuff. It's a cheaper thing. It's a cheaper way to do it, but it's just the effect that I think that is kind of cool. The idea of doing it that way. And here you can have the name. I like this in this front. So technically this has a museum quality, or at least it has that museum look, which I like. So definitely for fans of dinosaur stuff, then this is something worth checking out. Now I want to talk about another company that it's new and I haven't really heard much about. Well, actually I know this company is based in Japan, and this is Gomora Kick. That's the name of the company, Gomora Kick. It's a company that produces particularly Evangelion stuff. They have done life-size, life-size not, but like kind of the same height of a human Evangelion reproduction. So they have done different figures. They look amazing, different statues. This is kind of like a reproduction. That's why it's called reproduction of the original that they created. And this is, just to give you an idea of the height of this one, this is a smaller version. It's made out of ABS and PVC. The height is 20 inches tall, which it does have height. Of course, bigger than a 1/6 technically within 1/5, 1/4 scale, with like height wise. It's the only thing I would say is it doesn't have a big base, but it's kind of cool. The only thing I don't like about the figure per se, it's a nice, I would say, figure of the Evangelion Unit 01. So it does have the same colors. I think the reproduction is done right. I just wish it had some interchangeable parts. I think that would have made this figure much better. It's a very simple, in some way kind of boring pose, just a museum pose. And when there's other companies like that producing, you know, like a lot of stylized detail, you know, like the action poses, like Prime1 does, other companies do. But, you know, and there are even figures that you can pose at almost at this scale, at this, you know, almost at this size. But, you know, I would say the quality of the paint job, the quality of the sculpt is there. It's just, to me, I found it a bit boring. I wish it had more to offer than just a boring pose. But if you're really into Evangelion, if you love this type of things and mechas, then definitely that's worth checking out. This is awesome. I don't think it is cheaper to do this. This level of painting water effects is not easy to replicate. Oh, you're talking about yeah, I would say what I'm meaning, and going back to what you were saying, I'll go back to that comment in a moment. Let me just finish with this one. But yeah, go back to that. Now, I like this one. It's fine. If you're really into this, definitely you're going to find some enjoyment with that. Now, going back to what you were saying right there, talking about the effect on the water, I think not necessarily what I mean about cheap. It's not because it's a cheap paint. It's not cheap. Of course, this is just the this is just the prototype. Hopefully, once you get the final product, it matches that idea, that concept, which I think is awesome. But it is a clever way because it will be costly, even more costly, if you want to add like clear resin on top of it. And then you, like, for example, the same way that just Weta Workshop just recently did on the piece that we took a few days, the Dead Marshes, where they have like this effect of water. It's a clear resin on top, and then at the bottom they make this effect. So you have to add a lot more to create that kind of like a image of something, and that is awesome, but makes this the piece more expensive. Even when you add clear resin to do everything, it's more expensive. So they just have to go with the paint. It's not I would say a cheap paint job, but it's a more clever way to spend the money than just trying to do everything else, you know, with putting clear resin or kind of entombing the bottom of the piece with clear resin, you know, transparent resin. So to me, that is very clever. and that is a good thing. It's a fantastic. Now we have to wait and see if the final product matches that. But I think, if there's many fans of dinosaurs out there that they will love and they appreciate that. It's a very elegant piece on the paint job. It's a simpler, it's not complicated, it's not convoluted, so it's gonna be easier to find a place to display it. So I think that is a good thing. All right, moving on. Again, moving on to another. Definitely, Evangelion looks great. I want to talk about, and we're still with Sideshow, and definitely we're gonna talk about a few pieces at Sideshow. And I want to move now to another piece that was just released. And this is for Kotobukiya. This is another piece that was showcased at San Diego Comic Con. This is the 110 Artifacts Plus, the book of Boba Fett. This is PVC stuff, and it's cool. I like it. I think it's a nice thing if you're into 110. Although, right now we technically with Iron Studios, Iron Studios is treating us so well with a lot of the 110 stuff that sometimes people say, what is the point of me going to the PVC route when I can go to Iron Studios and get the polyresin stuff for them? And I totally understand. However, keep in mind that, and that's another thing that I was talking to a friend this week. I was discussing this, and I was discussing the point of that a lot of this, like the stuff we were talking about, the stuff that happened back in the day. I remember when a lot of these pieces from Kotobukiya, you can find them for less than $50, a few years, probably like 8, 9, 10 years ago. Now, of course, they're in the $150 mark for a very tiny piece. And even the base, there's no base, and you're paying $150. So that really kind of makes you think twice about it if you really want to invest the money into something like that. At the same time, I know the quality is there. It's just, it's so surprising to see how expensive the Artifacts Plus is. The artifacts, the Vishoyas are $150, really getting close to the $200 mark, which used to be the pretty much the room for 1/6 scale stuff. It's just everything has going up in price. Everything has double in price. It's just the way it is. It's cool. One thing good to say about the PVC is the fact that it will last longer. It's easy to maintain, all that. They're dust magnets though. PVC has always been a dust magnet, but it's cool, if you really don't want to break the bank in comparison to buying other things. But I would say at this price point, might as well just go for whatever Iron Source is producing, to be honest with you. Yes, if you're already collecting the Star Wars stuff from Kotobukiya, by all means. But go for something else, go for for Iron Studios. That will be my advice to you. I think that's what makes sense here. Let me read some comments here that I'm skipping. Another from Aaron. It says, sometimes companies would just use the clear resin and won't bother with actual paint jobs. So that's what I thought you meant. Oh, okay. No, yeah, it depends. Like I showed with the Dead Marches on that previous video, that they did an amazing job. They did the same thing as they did here. They did the water with the clear resin on top. And then the statue at the bottom, they painted everything painted as it's underwater, which is awesome. That is a very awesome. That is even more premium. But that Dead March, you're talking about, very expensive piece now, part of the masterpiece collection. That is just something else. But yeah, it's something I totally see what you're saying. Some companies, they just go the cheap route, make the resin, and they just don't bother with the paint job. And I feel that on this one, it looks, at least from the prototype point of view, it looks there. It looks good. So we'll see what happens there. All right, moving from Kotobukiya. And I want to make sure that we are where we need to be. We are still at Sideshow. And I want to move to another company, which is Taito. Taito, of course, this company. Taito's been getting into a lot of figures lately. Which is interesting, and this is based on an anime that I don't know much about. This is the Mai Sakurajima, I think that's what is that you pronounce it, Chinese dress version. This is a figure by Taito, a Spirit Tail. It's a 1/7 scale. It's $220. This normally Taito have very expensive figures for sure. This scale is amazing. If I'm complaining about Kotobukiya's prices, look at what Taito does. Taito does goes expensive. It's gonna release between April and June of next year. He says, introducing the next figure in the Spirit Tail line, Mai Sakurajima from Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. That's a bit long name for an anime. The eponymous bunny girl is a gorgeous Chinese dress. Is in a gorgeous Chinese dress with an original design. Its embellishments, such as her fan, a hairband, the moon, and clouds she's seated on, and the ornaments hanging from the moon, come together for an incredible work of art. This is the perfect addition to any fan's collection. And here you can see it's made out of ABS and PVC. Now, the reason why I added to this collection, sometimes I try to skip these figures. I don't care much about them, but when the art is awesome, the art is awesome. So you got to give him credit for that. And when I look at this one, I was like, oh, wait a minute. I love the artist here. I love the art that they did here. Fortunately, they're not really giving credit to this artist, but the artist that was involved in this did a really nice design here. Love the base. I think that's the best part of this. The figure is cool, like a regular anime girl, you know, nice figure and all that. But I do love, she's sitting on the moon. Love actually the way they did the lotus flower and the smoke or the air with the clouds there, which is cool. It is a really cool figure. It's expensive, but make no mistake, the design is cool. You know, the whole concept was cool. It's a 1/7 piece. It's not that big of a figure, but I'm sure it's gonna sell well. I love what they did with the base, and it's a clear base as they normally do with these figures. But I love the design and the concept. It surpasses other figures of the Taito line or the stuff that Taito has produced, which is cool. And at different angles, you can see even her hair look great. Very nice figure, and definitely I can say I wouldn't justify the price. I think it's super expensive. That shouldn't be more than $200 in my opinion. But of course, it's just me. But when you look at the stuff that Taito does, and of course they've been now, of course Sideshow's been distributing for them. Look at other figures they have. It's the most expensive so far, but I do like it more than, of course, Hatsune Miku right here. That base wasn't crazy. I wasn't crazy about it. Ochaku Uraka was fine. Himiko Toga, the base is fine. But definitely, I think this is a very different, very interesting figure. And this is not for me. It's a very interesting figure. Very nice statue, very nice design. And definitely for the fans of this particular anime or manga, I think they're going to love this one. So I wanted to point it out because I really like the design. I really like the concept there. Now, while we're still here, I'm going to talk about another company also that is also available now at Sideshow. And I want to talk about here this one. This is from Good Smile Company. Good Smile Company, also another company that sells very expensive figures. This is the point when I feel like, man, things are getting out of hand, then I'll look at these figures. And this is not a 1/7, this is a 1/8, which is even smaller. This is Wei Wuxian and Lan Wangji. I think that's what it's pronounced it. Bushan Shan version. And this is a 1/8, $635. Like, oh my God, I was like, when I look at this price, I look at the figure first, it looks nice. And I look at the price, I was like, man, this is expensive. And then this is not going to release till May of July of 2024. For this price, I definitely go for something else. You know, I think I can spend $600 for something a lot better. But, you know, I am not a fan of this. The price, of course, but I'm not a fan of this. You know, at the end of the day, one man's treasure is another. One man's trash is another man's treasure. That's the saying, and it's true. You know, just because I don't appreciate something, you know, doesn't mean, or just because I'm not invested 100% into a line, doesn't mean that takes away from that value. In my mind, it might not be as worth that much money, but for some fans, it may be. It's just I find it very expensive. Now, looking at the details here, this is made out, the height is 12.4 inches, so it's not really that big. Now, look, is this a statue? Now, trying to look at this one, I don't know if this is made out of certain material. We're going to look at this stuff. This says, the flowers illuminate the night like white jade. Tonight's must be Cheris from the popular Chinese animated series, The Master of Diabolism, comes a 1/8 scale figure of the main character, Wei Wuxian and Lan Wangji. Now, the thing is this. As far as I know, the figures that in this case they produce are always made out of, you know, like PVC, ABS, all of that. So I don't see that this is going to be made out of polyresin. It doesn't say. It doesn't say on the materials, which I could be wrong. And for that, I might have to come to Facebook, because if it's made out of resin, then I understand the price. Let me see right there. Good Smile Company. Let's see if they have it there available. Of course, sometimes they take a while to make it here. They got some figures, you know, your different thing. I don't see it. So this is something that is actually not as recent for Good Smile Company, but now, of course, it's available at Sideshow. Whatever. I don't see it. And I'm not going to be here forever. Let me see. That's the part. But if I'm not mistaken, like, I know for sure that this is not going to be resin. This is going to be PVC because that's what Good Smile does. You know, they don't go beyond that in the sense that, you know, I don't remember them doing any resin stuff. But yeah, I know Good Smile, the figures can be expensive. You know, that's just a given. It doesn't show there. So, okay. So, no biggie. But let's look at the pictures here. Let's look at the pictures to give you an idea. Now, this is awesome. I'm not going to deny it. It is awesome. You know, like the one we just from Taito was awesome. I love the base, but this base is more intricate. And I really like it. And I can see why they want. If it was polyresin, I would say, yeah, $600 is a given. If it was polyresin, probably would be $1,000. But look at this, you know, like even the rabbits in the background. I'm familiar with this series, but come on. I'm not denying that it's a gorgeous piece. I just find it very expensive. But it's awesome. I think the sculpt is amazing. The detail is amazing. I can see that even in the water effect. Like, I like that effect there. It's really, really well done. And then you got these bunnies in the background. Man, that water effect is awesome. I think that's the selling point for me. Not at that price point, though. Not at that price, but I love what they're doing there. Really cool characters. I need to find out more about him. I think I love that. I love the colors. I love the style. Is very stylized, but it's very elegant piece for sure. Really cool. So yeah, this is a cool piece. $600, not worth for me. It's not worth it that much for me. But I know for some people might differ with me because they might have invested interest on this. But yeah, you have to wait till 2024 just to have it. Gorgeous nonetheless. It's a really nice piece for sure. All right, my friends. While we're here, I want to take you to another place. We're going to move to Spec Fiction. I want to go to Spec Fiction because I want to talk about another company that, in my opinion, also deserves attention. Now, we are here, and they have a couple of things. There's the Gandalf the White. I want to talk about this. I think this was already at Weta. I'm not so sure. If not, we're going to go there. I think this is a new thing. I think I already talked about it. If not, we'll look at it in just a moment. Oh, no. This is the... Yeah, from Weta. We'll come to it in just a moment. We'll talk about it because we're still in the 1/6. But I want to talk about... Now we get into the anime stuff. I want to talk about these two pieces here. This right here. This is the One Punch Man Boros 1/6 scale statue. This was already sold out. The Kitsune statue is a French company. There's a brand new company that they started doing a lot of stuff with, in this case, with, you know, anime. One Punch Man and some other things here. The $659, I think it's a great starting price. It's an average price, I would say, for the anime stuff that they're doing. Now, I wouldn't say that I'm blown away by the design here. I totally see why, you know, they were trying to do with this character, but I'm not necessarily a fan. But I think it's interesting. Now, this is a paint job. It has no light-up feature that I know of. It's expensive, but definitely for One Punch Man people, fans out there, so definitely they can see hey Knight, how you doing, my friend? Welcome. They can see this company. It's interesting what Kitsune is doing. $659, not bad. This is made out of resin. It has polyurethane, PVC, all that. The concept skull is by Sacha Delon, and the paint is Guillaume Hermeri. I think I've seen him painting other things too for other companies. So that is a cool concept there. Also, they got this one. This was sold out at their website a long time ago. It was sold out, and it's about to ship on the fourth quarter of this year. So the fact that now, after so long, Spec Fiction is able to sell something, they're announcing this, is cool. So if you miss out on this and you know, Hajime no Ippo versus Sendo, this classic anime, then definitely you can go and get this one. And I love the design, the concept. You can see on the punch how the face looks. That is really, really cool. Love the detail. Japan champion, the featherweight. I even love the way they did the base, like this leather look, kind of leather look. I don't know if it's leather, which is sculpted, but around it, kind of like a belt, because it's a belt, you know, boxing belt supposedly. But I love the detail. Really nice paint job on this prototype. Even on the gloves, looks great. And definitely, I love this pose here. I love the way he's punching the face and how he looks. Really cool. Really, it's a really cool, you know, statue. 1/6 scale statue. Definitely, you're a fan of this franchise, then you're definitely gonna see the appreciation of it. Look at different angles. Love the anime look. Awesome. So this is a very awesome piece. And here you can see it's sculpted by the same concept design by Sasha Delon. The 3D sculpted by Jacinto Platania and painted is Noel Aman. Sorry for my bad French. Even though I have some French blood, I'm not really good with French. Not really good. All right, so here we see that. But I want to give you an idea because, you know, for people that never heard of this company, I'm going to take you to here to Kitsune statue. Just to give you an idea, this company definitely is expanding and growing, and they selling stuff, and as you can see, different concepts for different anime. And this is something that in France right now there's a lot of companies doing a lot of this stuff. There's companies coming out of France that actually are really doing amazing work. There's more concepts art for Kitsune, as you can see. There's a lot of things that they're doing. This company is really bringing something new and different in a very crowded market. It's getting really crowded with so many anime producers out there, but I think they do have they have an opportunity there to cement themselves with some of these figures that they're doing. So this company, definitely pay attention to Kitsune. If you're into anime stuff, then definitely they're doing a lot of the 1/6 stuff. It sells really quick. They also acquire and made the Naruto license, so that's something that they're gonna be working on. So, you know, they're doing a lot of this stuff. Also, the work that they have done, of course, for all these other licenses, like this other new license here you can see with Jujutsu Kaisen. So, man, they're really expanding. In the last few years that they've been working, I don't think like 2-3 years they've been doing stuff. They're coming places. They're doing stuff for the different licenses, and they're doing amazing work there. And they're selling well. They're selling well. So pay attention to this company for sure. All right, so now we're moving into the 1/6 realm, and I want to move to. Oops, I think I closed that. I want to move to. We're looking at Weta, so we're gonna look at Weta and see what Weta releases. And this is the what I was talking about of the clear resin effect that I mentioned early on when I was talking about the paint job. This is the piece that I was mentioning, the Dead Marshes, which is amazing. Truly an amazing piece. Here, maybe we can get there. Talking about the effect which they did with the clear resin here. That effect of the clear resin, which is, in my opinion, awesome. And then, of course, they got the paint job and the effect underneath, which is make it look like that. I like it. And also has a light up feature, which adds to that effect. This is an awesome piece. One of the masterpieces that they're producing in this master series or whatever they call it. I forgot. But it's also 1/6 scale. But when you're looking at the price, it's $2,600. It's super expensive. But hey, it is what it is. You know, no reason to cry over spilled milk on it. In the sense that it is what it is. They sell out, and that is cool. But here, I think we already talked about it before. I'm not so sure, but I want to talk about these other pieces that they were released. Particularly this one. This is, I don't know if I talk about it. If not, I'm gonna talk about it. Gandalf the White. $399. You can order there, or you can go through like we see it here on Spec Fiction. They have it now available at Spec Fiction. We talk about this Naruto Shippuden. This is by Spada Art. We talked about it before, but here you can see looks really cool. And of course, this is within the same collection that I already have with the museum posters. That this collection that has been produced at 1/6 scale, the classic series. Which actually there's a comeback to some of the pieces that already they did in the past. They kind of redoing again. For, you know, more in the museum style. It's fully sculpted, which is cool that you like fully sculpted stuff. Prototype looks great. Definitely, I like that clear, the way of the effect on the skin. Hopefully translates well on the final piece. Definitely, it has a nice height on this piece for sure. So yeah, you can order here. You can choose the payment plan, order directly from Weta. This is sculpted by Gary Hunt. Phenomenal. Gary Hunt has been working with them for years. He has produced a lot of amazing pieces, like, you know, over the years. He's a classic sculptor. He does amazing work, and I think this is a fantastic job. Again, you can also come to Spec Fiction. You can get it there, $3.99. So technically the same price. You'll find it whether you choose one or the other. Spec Fiction does amazing work as well. Unfortunately, Sideshow is not really selling Weta. Probably Weta didn't want to just give a big cut to Sideshow, which I totally understand. Weta has been in business for a long time, so it's not like they need it really when they can actually find other ways to sell their products. So that is awesome. Now, looking at the notes, if anybody has something to share, we're gonna keep moving forward, so that way we save time. But I want to come to right now. We're looking at the 1/6 stuff, which is awesome. I want to come to Sideshow. Okay, cool. So we come into Sideshow here because I want to talk about another 1/6 scale statue, and talking about another company not based in America. I want to talk about this Italian company that, in my opinion, does amazing work, which is Infinite Statue. And they were also a highlight for me at San Diego Comic-Con. Well, they have a new statue. Let me see if we can find it here. I didn't see it right there, but it's right here. This one, Terrence Hill. I love this one. Terrence Hill, for those who aren't familiar, particularly in America, they don't know much about Terrence Hill. If you're a fan of the spaghetti westerns, the duo for me of all the stuff of the spaghetti westerns, or the actors that were to me amazing was Bud Spencer and Terrence Hill. Of course, they were Italian actors that they have these English names, or they acquired these names in order to sell, to be bankable in movies in Hollywood. Although spaghetti westerns didn't make it as good in the United States, they were very popular all around the world. In Latin America, they were popular, and I love, since I was a kid, I used to watch these spaghetti westerns, but also the duo of Bud Spencer and Terrence Hill. And I'm telling you, I'm glad that they're doing this. This is at $270. It's going to release between January and March of next year. Now, this is, what is that? They Call Me Trinity. This is based on the Call Me Trinity film, which is one of the most recognizable movies in America of Terrence Hill. I would say that the likeness is not 100% on the statue. It looks great. I love the outfit. I'm glad that they're doing this, and I'm sure that they're going to also release Bud Spencer. I think they already released Bud Spencer at some point, or they're going to. But it has actually the baked beans right there. That's kind of cool, the design. I love what this company does, but I'm not necessarily 100% with the likeness. I think the likeness is off at certain angles. This angle is better, but I don't know. It just looks off in some way. Now, I'm gonna give you an idea. I've talked about Infinity Statue before, but to give you an idea of what they've been, and they did really good as I should. And these are the statues that they have. They have also figures, scale figures like John Wayne Deluxe. And here you can see Toshiro Mifune. That's a really good one. I talked about him before. Love that one. Of course, Burt Reynolds, that went on pre-order. Love that one. Talk about it too. And here you can see Bud Spencer. And Bud Spencer was a fantastic also comedian. Like the comedic element of this guy. It's awesome. And I love the fact that they are having the statues, and here you have another Franco Nero too. So they do have, I don't know if they have Bud Spencer here, but I think Terrence Hill is going to be a companion. It's not here, but if I'm coming to, let's say, Infinite Statue website, Infinite Statue right there, I think Bud Spencer, okay, whatever. Infinite Statue, Gentle Client, occurred dear customers probably that they announced producers can be subject to delays. Okay, we know that. So here, that's the pre-order they have. So they have that right now, pre-order. Trying to see if they had Bud Spencer somewhere. I don't know if it's already one of the originals. I think before even they went into right there. That was the one. That was the web edition. That was the technically the piece that goes the companion to the one the Terrence Hill right here. Bud Spencer Limited with edition. I don't know if it's already sold out, but this was the companion to it. I think, if I'm not mistaken, they were both together. I might be wrong. But Bud Spencer was also, I think this goes with that one, or it could be a different movie, but it gives me the impression that they were both in that one. This is really cool, man. I grew up with this movie, so I have a lot of appreciation for these actors. My dad was the one that introduced me to them. He was a big fan of spaghetti westerns. So, very funny movies. Definitely, you should watch it. But yeah, I like this statue. It's not a bad statue. So yeah, it's cool to see Sideshow really selling more of that. Now, I will tell you, like, if you look at Terrence Hill, just to give you an idea on the likeness. Let's see. You can see some pictures of Terrence Hill, like this guy right here. I don't know if you can see it there on that angle of this one. The likeness is sort of there. I want to say that it's 100%. When you look at the pictures of the actor, it's sort of there. Here you can see this is the movie that we were watching at, or this is based on this movie. I don't know if you can see it right there. That is cool. I'm just coming through this. Here you can see. So yeah, that is a companion. They're both pieces work together. I'm reading those. I have image statue, Bela Lugosi Dracula statue, great likeness. Also pure, they're Vincent Price exclusive. Okay, those are really nice. That Vincent Price is a really nice piece. And Bela Lugosi, you're into horror stuff. Definitely that is an appreciation. I love this. You know, I love to see companies that they're doing something very, very new, man. I love that they're doing amazing work, and Taisho has been doing that. I definitely gonna get into some of the statues, particularly some of the classic stuff. I've been eyeballing that John Wayne for a while, for sure, but we'll see how it goes. Definitely this company is doing something really cool, very different, very unique, and it's nice to see companies doing unique stuff, you know, something that we don't get to see as much, unfortunately, in this, you know, because, you know, the big companies always take the center stage. All right, so let me drink some water and read some of the comments. And again, I want to say to all of you, my friends, to all of you, and thank you, Tutor Andy, everyone that is watching this, I appreciate it. Everyone that comes in the future, don't forget to leave a like, to subscribe to the channel. You're watching this for the first time. Also to let me know how you feel about things. And thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. All right, so let's move on. I want to move on now into let me read something here first and foremost. Yeah, I'm just doing taking some notes here. Thank you for your patience on that. Okay, so now we're moving on. We're moving to some other companies. I want to talk about, now that we're here, those Hill Spencer Westerns are hilarious. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they're awesome. Those guys were awesome. What I love about their movies is that they were always, you know, there was always like fights, and there was silly stuff. It was always silly. It was so much silliness. They're awesome movies that people need to watch. And like young people, they're missing out if they don't watch the silliness of those movies. They were awesome. All right, my friends, let's move on. And here at Sideshow, I want to come to Sideshow and I want to look at their release for this week. They're from their own personal line, or for the stuff that they sell. Trying to get out of here. I'm kind of going back and forth. We'll come back to this. So we're doing this Sideshow. Coming to the main page, that would be easier than trying to go back and back. It gets all confused. And I want to talk about Keyleth, Vox Machina. Now, Vox Machina, it's a show. Well, it's based on the, what is that? The Vox Machina, of course, is it's everything based on Dungeons and Dragons. Of course, it's based on the, pretty much on, what is that? Right here, let me just go back to read some notes. Sideshow presents the Killet Vox Machina statue, making her noble journey into the Critical Role collection, which is the role that is the collection they've been doing. And all the pieces, you know, some I like, not all of them. Like, for example, you already have Bo, and you have also Vax, and you know, they look fine. I'm not crazy about it. Also, they have this one with Fjord, and also they have what is that? The newest Gru, whatever. I always forget his name. But you know, like, to be honest, I've never been like a Critical Role fan or Dungeons and Dragons big fan or anything like that, and I haven't read the novels. However, I've been watching the Vox Machina show on what is that on? I started actually watching it this week, and I've been having fun with it, and it's on Prime Video. And I'll tell you, Vox Machina, it's like really hilarious. It's definitely a very mature animation there. Well, animation is normal. But if you already know the animation from from Amazon, they have the animation also for Invincible, something like that. The language is heavy, very heavy language, very mature themes. There's, you know, nudity, you know, sexual innuendo, all of that, all into one. But what I like about this show is the characters are fun, and Killet is one of my favorite characters there. And I think, of course, this is not necessarily the same of that show, which I think there's a season 2 coming also. This was technically at the beginning was a Kickstarter that did so well, and they were able to release that, and I'm glad that it's on Prime Video. But I think Killet is my favorite character there. Now let me look at the artists who are involved here, and the people involved is made out of polystone. The height is 13.5, so it's not that big. The artist is Nilberto Tawares, the sculptor. Rachel Rubisek is the designer. Chi Zuma is the painter, and the Sideshow design development team is involved in the process. And I'm telling you, this is my favorite. This is one to highlight for me as a Dio Comic Con, because I do love the style and the design of this figure. She looks hot for sure. She looks really pretty, but she looks like the character, like I envision the character. And of course, it's a different. You compare this to the animation, it's different, but it really holds that, you know, the character, because at the end of the day, the character is bigger than just the animation. Of course, it's based on the stories, even there was a podcast for that. The characters were doing like some type of podcast thing, which was kind of cool. There's comics now, of course, there's the books, all of that. So it looks cool also because she's a very young character. You can see the freckles, which is a nice addition on this one. And definitely this is a piece that I like, even if I don't collect the others, even I don't care about the other figures. I definitely like this character. I love the design, I love the concept, and I think it's a beautiful piece. You know, I don't have to have everything on one particular collection. I can be a completionist in some things, but not in everything. And characters that I like, particularly female characters, I can go for that. And I think the height is nice. It's not a huge piece. I just love the design. I love the paint job. I love the concept. In my opinion, this is the best piece so far they have produced. It's beautiful. And she looks really great. And I recommend you to watch that show if you have Prime. Definitely watch it because you're gonna have fun with it. But this line is definitely Critical Role line is just awesome, you know. And when you look at some of these pieces like this, of course, the Mighty Nine bow, this is also part of that. Let's see if there's other pieces on this line, the Critical Role. Let's see, Critical Role. I think last week we talked about yeah, here's all the pieces that have been released. I have Vo, you got Vex and Vax, which are brothers, siblings, and that is cool. I think I like, you know, they're fine. You know, this is part of the Mighty Nine right there. This is Vox Machina, so there's two different things there, but they all from, you know, Critical Role. And then you got Vox Grok, which is cool. Reminds me of God of War. Yeah, for sure. But I think that's where they took the concept. So yeah, I like it. I think from all the pieces that they have produced for Critical Role, the Critical Role collection, definitely, from all these pieces that we have seen, Killet is my favorite so far. I think it's the best looking one, and the prices I think is excellent. $220. You know, you're not breaking the bank with that one for sure. You know, it's pretty good. You know, you want something, you only need a unique piece. And definitely something there worth checking out. Now, moving on, I want to move on to another company, and I want to come here. We're still here at Sideshow. I want to talk about Quarantine Studio. I have talked about Quarantine Studio, a very small studio, very small company. And I don't think they have that many pieces. I think that perhaps this is the second piece, perhaps. I think they have done other pieces in the past, but very limited numbers. Now, when you look at Quarantine Studio, for example, let's see what they have. Yeah, it's always based on like Dead Dealer and stuff like that. Hell Witch, they have that as well. So they have a few things there and there, you know, but it's always based on some of those very obscure, not even more obscure than Dynamite. Although they have done stuff with the Dynamite stuff like Digitoris, Prince of Mars. I talked about it before here, and I think it's already out for sale. It's already been out for a while, but now they have La Muerta, which is another character also that has been popular in the comics. Here we can see returning home from the war in Afghanistan, Army veteran Maria Diaz wanted to settle into quiet, peaceful life. Those dreams were shattered when her family was slaughtered by a death-worshipping crime cartel. Now Maria dons the guise of the vigilante La Muerta, seeking bloody vengeance against the city's most ruthless criminals. Inspired by the work of Joel Gomez, the 1/5 scale collectible such as definitely one of a kind, fully licensed by Coffin Comics. Video is sculpted by Edren Vienart and paint master by David Shaky Dave Dill. You're going to love this statue. So here you can see, really cool. Height is 23. It's a 1/5 scale, and I think the character, the design, it's really cool. I think the paint job is excellent. He did a phenomenal job with this character. And now the base. Not necessarily, I don't know why they went with that tall base, which is interesting. It's a tall base, so you know it's just different. They couldn't go with something smaller than that. But I think the best part is the design and definitely the paint job on her skin. You know, she has that very like the tan, and she looks really hot for sure. And look at the design of the base, Maria Diaz. Look at that. Even, oh, I love that. It has even the bullets and the cartridges right there. That is really cool. That is a very cool piece for sure. Looking at the notes. But yeah, man, I'm telling you, they did a fantastic job. And for those who don't know La Muerta, you know, like if you had never, which I mean the dead, like, you know, La Muerta, technically she's dead. That's an adjective for somebody that is dead. But it's a female. You can call it she dead or something like that. La Muerta comics. And of course, well, you said Hellwitch, like they did La Muerta, Hellwitch, and Coffin Comics merchandise and exclusive. So let's see, there's any images here that I can give you. Here you can see some of those covers of La Muerta. So really cool. Yeah, there's some really cool images of her. And definitely, I like that. Definitely very cool. So, some really more hardcore stuff that I didn't want to show you, but that's how it is. But yeah, definitely, this is something that you can see. I think there's cute. It's cute. It's well done. It's a nice piece, and I like the paint job on this one. I think did a fantastic job. So we'll see. $250, I think, for a 1/5 at this time, day and age, and this time it's something rare. But of course, this is a very small company, so Quarantine Studio doesn't do as much in comparison to all the big companies. So they can definitely, they're going to sell things at a cost because they don't have to, you know, they're dealing with small profits. So that is cool. That's something that I wanted to point out for this company. All right, now let's get into something big. Now we already talked about all the small fish in the pond, although some companies are big. Let's go into the quarter scale stuff. So we're gonna go into XM Studios. We come into XM Studios because, of course, XM Studios is and actually they're not gonna have it here. They only have the Venom that we talked about last week. Cool, interesting. We're gonna have to go to Facebook on this one. I don't know how much this is gonna be, but I believe it's gonna be expensive, and people are gonna be talking about it. People are gonna be complaining about it. People are gonna be like crying about it and whining about it, because there's always gonna be someone whining about it. But we know this is gonna be expensive. I don't know if the price was already given, but we know. And there's a video right there. It's going on pre-order tomorrow, 6 August, 6 p.m. So it's going on pre-order. This is a video right here with this Maestro. This Maestro looks awesome. Looks awesome. There's no denying on that. This is going to cost a lot of money, and people are gonna whine about it. Now, there's different versions. There's a version A, version B. I don't know what it's gonna entail with one version of the other. Now, they have the images of version B. Let's see. Oh, version A. There's two versions. Like the version A, this is the one. Let me read some of the information here. The Maestro version A will be ready prepared tomorrow. It's 70% our most compelling 1/4 scale Marvel Premium Collectible Series statue today. Maestro, the man once known as the Hulk, is now neither man nor Hulk. And blah, blah, blah. Let's talk about version A comes with the following accessories. Juggernaut helmet, Silver Surfer board, Namor's Trident, Captain America shield, Dr. Octopus tentacle, Thor Mjolnir, Battle Ray Bill Stormbreaker. Version B comes with everything included in version A, along with Doctor Strange cloak, Doctor Doom's faceplate, Thor helmet, Black Panther helmet, Professor's X Cerebro helmet, Loki helmet, Venom symbiote, Carnage symbiote, Magneto's helmet, Nova helmet, War Machine, blah blah, so on and so on and so on and so on. So the version B is the most expensive one for sure. Now this is version A, and this is a more style simple. It's huge. This monster is huge. It's gonna be expensive. I'm guessing this is gonna be around $3,000. I can already see it, perhaps even more. $3,500. I'm just saying. I'm not saying how much it will be, but I'm really looking at this at 3,000, maybe 2,000. You know, like I don't know. I already say it's gonna be within the 3,000 mark. It's huge. Look at that. 110 kilograms. That baby is heavy. Heavier than some people that I know. It is heavy. 110 kilograms. That's a lot. I think it's probably heavier than me. Well, that thing is crazy. $35.99 version B and spec fiction. Oh, wow. They have it as spec fiction? Let me look at this. They may have it sometime in the past. Let me look. Let me do Maestro. Now you are tickling me on this one. Okay. Oh, they did have it. Version A, version V. Okay. Yeah. Well, actually, $3,600. Oh, it was kind of on the mark. But on the big one, well, I was thinking that it would go even $5,000. And the version A is $25,000. Wow. Still expensive. Okay, so this is the $2,500. Look at that. That is a huge Maestro. You can see the Sentinel head in the back. You can see the Silver Surfer board. You can see Captain America's shield. You can see Juggernaut helmet. You can see the gauntlet. You can see the trident of Namor. You can see one of the Thors from Battle Ray Bill. And Dr. Octopus arm. Man, that is a huge piece. And to be honest with you, this, you know, I've never been like a big fan of some, I would say, thrones, but I can see this one merits that. I think it merits that because of the character, because of the storyline, because it's part of the storyline that he's on a throne. Looks really good, and I love the different. I really love the different switch up parts. I like this one he's looking. But this one is better. The way he's just looking at it's an excellent piece. It is an excellent Maestro. It's awesome. If I have the money, if I have the means, if I have the space for it, I will definitely go for this Maestro. It's the ultimate representation of Maestro for sure. Look at that. It is awesome, man. Look at all the pictures. The Mjolnir 2 of Thor right there. Look at that. Wow. Is that the chair? Or no, that's not the chair. I don't know what is this. Is that? I missed something. Like an arm. Oh, that's part of the Sentinel head. This is awesome. That is an awesome piece for sure. So this is the A version. This is the poor man's version. The poor. Now, if it's too poor for you, if you actually want the rich man's version because you don't want to be like the peasants that only have $25 to spare, then you come to this one. Look at this one. This is everything else. This is everything we have plus everything else. Look at the different things, the different helmets there. Look at that. The symbiotes. the armor, so Iron Man, War Machine. And then you have the Loki helmet, the Cerebro right there. And they come with light up features. And the symbiote of Venom and Carnage. And also you get the clog of Doctor Strange. Oh, wow. This is for the rich people. This is not for the peasants like me. Look at that. Wow. Man. Oh, look at that. Like looking at that, that's the helmet of Magneto, and I think that's the Ultron head. Look at that. Look at that. It has the same thing. I love the paint job. Look at even the finger. Oh man, they did a fantastic job on this one. The paint job is excellent. This is a huge piece. This is a gorgeous piece. No denying on that. The moment that it was showcased for the first time, we saw the hints a few months back. People were, when they saw it in person, they were blown away. It was amazing. It was amazing. I talk about it here on the channel too. But man, this is awesome. To be honest with you, now looking at the price, I can say, yeah, it deserves this price because everything that is included, the weight just for the piece, the centerpiece, is heavier than some people that I know. It's probably around my weight. I think I weighed something like that. So it's heavy, man. You're gonna need 2 people just to set it up. It is crazy. There's so much storytelling on this base. Yeah, it is. You know, of course, base. Of course, when you look at that phenomenal cover of what's the name of the whole thing? When you look at this piece, and it's a nice concept because let me look at the Maestro. No, I don't need that. On Throne by George Perez. That is, maybe I can see it here. Of course, I you know, I've seen that comic many times. I have the comic. I don't have it here. Actually, I do. Let me kind of show you this. Let me give you an idea. So give me just a second. Let me come back to. Actually, let me come back to this. I'm gonna show you where this inspiration comes from, of course. I'll be right back. All right, my friends, I'm back. I'm back here. All right, so let me give you an idea. For those who are unfamiliar, this is, of course, The Incredible Hulk by Peter David. This is volume 3. Of course, here you can see, I love this. At the back has Maestro. This is where the Maestro stores are located on the omnibus. So, let me find it here. Let me come to the page where you can see where actually all the inspiration is taken from of that scene, and they use it for reference. Oh no, I already skipped it. I'm sorry. Really love this. I have the 4 volumes now, the Peter David run, and I always find them amazing. Maybe I can find it right here. Trying to find it where it's located. I wasn't prepared for this one, but it came to mind. So let me do it. Oh wow, I wasn't prepared for this for sure. But hey, why not? This, of course, this is based on Future Imperfect. And I'm wasting so much time here trying to locate all this. Sorry for the delay. Man, I totally forgot what page was it. Well, I couldn't find it. I'll find it at some point. But here you can see the trophy room of Maestro. You can see everything. This is everything he has, all the collection of stuff that he has. So technically it's telling the story of the Future Imperfect, which in my opinion is awesome. This is one of the best stories from Hulk, and of course Peter David, phenomenal as an artist, and George Perez doing the art, and now the late George Perez, who did an amazing job really bringing all that art together. It's just awesome. Looking at, you can see the art of George Perez. I need to review this book. I need to review all these books we haven't really done. You can see Maestro looking so cool. Man, I'm telling you, I love the art here because he represents Maestro the way he is. You know, you can see that. It's such an awesome job on this art. And there's a particular, I just started to find it. Where is that? I just totally forgot. You know, sometimes it's, when you read so many comments, you tend to forget a lot of things. Okay, I think it's on this issue. On part 2 of 2, that's where we're going to find it. I think it is here. This is the battle. I skipped something where I don't have it. I think it's going to be here somewhere. Tell you where is that. Find it at some point. And I'm wasting time here, but I'll find it. There's a scene, or I don't know if it's here or it's just actually something different. I don't know. I'll find it at some point. I'm not gonna waste any more time. What's the name of that story again? That's Future Imperfect. That's Peter David, the Incredible Hulk. There's the Future Imperfect is the one, or you can also find it at the end. And it's where one of the pages, it's actually him there doing that. So let me see if I can find it here. Okay, Future Imperfect. Man, I don't know. I had it right there in front of me. It's somewhere in the pages. I think I'm skipping one page, but trying to see if I can find it. Right there. Right there. This is the one I was talking about. It's there. It's there. I had the book in front of me and I couldn't find it. It's there. It's one of the small things. As you can see, this is which is based on. So they base the same concept with all this trophy room with all the stuff that he's holding. So that is what they took the inspiration to create, and that's George Perez. So it's somewhere there in the pages here, but I don't know what I did. But it's in that story. It's Future Imperfect. I think I was skipping something. I was not paying attention to something. In any case, that's just visual reference. I just want to give you that as for points of reference. I'm going to dive into some Hellboy that really passed me. Yeah, I love Hellboy. Thanks. I'm going to check it out later. Yeah, I could say that. You know, I could say, I'm telling you, it's awesome. The whole thing, the whole concept, of course, this is his trophy room. You know, all the stuff that he has, everyone that he has vanquished. And I think they did such an amazing job. The paint job is excellent. It is awesome. Love that. It's really, really cool. And here you can see War Machine, Iron Man, and the symbiotes right there. With the Lido feature, they look really awesome. Oh, look at that. I just see now Ultron. I see Nova's helmet right there in the back. That is awesome too. Oh, I can see Doctor Doom, Black Panther, Thor helmet, and Cerebro. Oh man, it's awesome, man. That is an awesome piece. That's a showstopper. That's a centerpiece. Look at that fell in the back. Tiny in comparison to Maestro. Wow. Awesome. A very awesome piece. 145 kilograms is gonna be the price for this baby. Like, if you have it, you have it. No denying on that. It is just awesome. Yeah, that is an awesome piece for sure. All right, man. I'm telling you, like, it's awesome. XM Studios kill it with that one for sure. And oh, no words for that one. Definitely, I think the price is worth the price. And people can complain, but I'm telling you, like, come on. You know, it has so much stuff in it, so many details, so much stuff added to it. It is based on the art. It is really well done. Everything is perfect. So definitely that is a home run. One of the best pieces from XM in years now. I think one of the best so far they have done in quite a while. You know, they always do amazing work, but I think this is the best they have done so far. All right, now let's look at going back to Sideshow, because I want to talk about PCS. Now that we are going into the quarter scale, now we're going into the 1/3 scale with that baby piece that it's amazing for sure. But I want to talk about this other piece that was released by PCS, which is the Raphael. There's two different versions. There's the collector's edition, which is the regular version, which I think is awesome. I like that. It's a simple piece, but at this price, $12.55, go for the deluxe version, which is the same price. And to be honest, it does have the switch up portraits, which in the end is what you want of this deluxe version. Now, the designer of this, of course, is the Kuchar brothers. They were involved in the production of this piece. There's other artists, but unfortunately, PCS is very bad at actually honoring people, which to me is dumb. But here, the deluxe edition has a swap out left hand and bandana portrait. So you have the bandana, new bandana that is mostly based on the new. You know, now you can see that bandana. They started with the last movies, which are not the greatest movies, but they're fun for some. You know, for some, they're fun for me too. But they use that whole bandana now, and of course, now some of the new cartoons have those bandanas. So they're using that. Cool, looks, you know, kind of cartoony, which is fine. And of course, he has the swap out left hand that is with his side, which is technically destroying that Mouser, which is kind of cool. And here you can see it. Some of my friends, we were talking about some of my friends, they were not fans of that. They were not really crazy with the whole concept of it. But to me, like, you know, I gotta be honest. You know, like, I totally get it. I get it why some people don't necessarily like the design, or they don't like it. They would say, well, I think the design is not the greatest. And to me, it's fine, you know, like, I'm okay with it. You know, there's no denying that this is a very huge piece, very different, and I think it's a new concept. And at the same time, I think PCS is trying to play with new things and new ideas with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and trying to give something to someone. And I think for 1/3 collectors, they can appreciate that, because there's no options out there for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in 1/3. You know, we have the quarter scale, the 1/5 scale, 1/6 scale. We have everything below quarter scale, and this is gonna be the first 1/3 scale statue of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And I know that some people appreciate that. I think it's good that PCS is catering to that crowd. I think it's good. I think I've seen better depictions. I prefer some of them, but this concept that they're doing with the Kuchar brothers, in my opinion, it's nothing wrong with it. I think the paint job is excellent, something that PCS does great with the prototypes. Not a fan of that bandana for sure. It's just not my favorite bandana. I like the classic bandana. That's what I do. I think the classic bandana is what I always envision. Now, of course, it's bulkier because it's based on this new concept where with the very movies, they made this, you know, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles too bulky and huge. And to me, I was like, that's not the way I see them. Of course, you know, I'm a fan of the comics, so that's how I started with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And I like they're tiny teenagers. That's the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. These teenagers are too big. I think they're like in some type of steroids or something. But I like that. I like the classic portrait. And it's good to have a switch out part. Definitely too big. And he has really huge legs, man. Look at those knees. His calves, they're huge. I prefer that smaller. And that's the thing. I go back to the original Sideshow comic cats. Those to me, to this day, they still are the best Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle statues ever created. I still love those. I love the concept, the art. I don't think it hasn't been surpassed. I would say if you're looking for the comic, the cartoon accurate stuff, then definitely PCS has the best. But if you're looking for the stuff that it really kind of pays homage to the original comics, and I think overall for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Taito did it better in my opinion. No, you know, and they did like the second edition, they did the second series, which is not bad, but I still go back to the original series. And definitely I'm looking at the 110 stuff, the Iron Studio stuff I think is good, but I still go back to the originals from Sideshow. I think those were the best. And still the best. And you know, they has like pouches and all that, kind of cool. Different concept, is different. Nothing wrong with it though. I like the style. I'm not gonna kill it. I'm not gonna say that it's terrible. It's not bad, just not my style. It's exactly, that's what I feel. It is for some people. It's a more realistic Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah, it is. It has some realism to it in some way, kind of. But it's a lot closer to the films, you know, to the most recent Faye films, which are not the best for me, because I always go back to the classic original design. You know, at the end of the day, maybe I prefer that. Now, there are aspects here that I like. I like that, of course, he's battling these Mousers and destroying this one. I love the water effect they do there, of the pretty much on the sewer water, which is something that I think PCS always does great with those clear resins when they do water effects. So it's not bad. I think at the end of the day, it's a matter of choice. If you want to go for the more realistic look, go for it. I'm not here to say that this is terrible. It's not. I think it was a highlight for me from the San Diego Comic-Con. It looks good and it's huge, but I think, you know, there's a fan base for it, and a lot of people love this more realistic style, and by all means, more power to them. Definitely the Donatello they have as a prototype. I'm looking forward to the painted prototype on that one. I think it's good. I think as a one there, I think the price is fair. I still think, with honesty, that from all the pieces they have produced, and they have produced a good amount of them, I still go to the one I consider the best. To me, is this Last Ronin. I think the Last Ronin is just perfect. It's just an amazing piece. It is awesome quarter scale. I love the whole thing. The Supreme Edition 16, and then the regular $800. I think the $1,600 is well merited for that piece. It's just awesome. This is an awesome piece for sure. So there is that. There is that. All right, my friends, let's move. Moving on again. I want to move to Prime1 Studio. This is gonna be the last piece, or the last company of the night. And I want to say to all of you to this point, thank you very much for your support. Don't forget to leave a like. If you're watching this, don't forget to subscribe if you're watching this for the first time. And also follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. The links are in the description. Now, before we get into some heated conversation here, I want to talk about the piece, the piece that they announced this week. The Guts Berserker Armor Unleashed Edition, the DX bonus version 1/3 scale statue. This, it's if you're a Berserker fan, then definitely you're gonna love this one. It's $1,600, of course, if you consider also the price for, you know, in this case the shipping. It's gonna be a lot more expensive, a lot more, maybe the same price, double the price. Now let me read some of the notes here. The event applications are really good. Talking about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, would you say it's more of a realistic? I was hoping the price would be around 800. Yeah, but as a 1/3, knowing the way they do PCS, I definitely they could be more expensive. It's going to be over 5K with all 4 plus other characters. Definitely, it's gonna be expensive. Now, looking at Guts, looking at this piece right here, it comes with so many different parts. It's as a Berserk theme base, LED illuminated function on the base, 3 swappable head portraits, 3 swappable right arms, 1 swappable bonus younger portrait. That's part of the bonus part, so you got to get the younger face of, in this case, Guts. And then you got 1 bonus Berserker armor theme head stand. That's a bonus part too, so you can actually set your, you know, the extra heads, which is kind of cool. And look at the weight. It's supposedly weigh 30.14 kilograms, which is hefty. But when you compare this 1/3 to the Maestro that is over 140 kilograms, you tell you, like, that thing is huge and massive and super heavy. Look at this one. I like this one. I think they went with a really nice concept with this one. Of course, you know, they've been producing so many pieces for Berserk. It's not even funny. But I like this one, definitely with the different portraits. This is the younger head. Really cool. With the sword. And he can also, you can position the sword in different ways, where it's above, where it's like this, down, or where he's actually putting it on the floor, like holding it. It's awesome. You know, it has so many things to use. Like here you have that one. And it's huge. And the light up feature, definitely this is the ultimate. When talking about the Berserk line, or any collectibles out there, Prime1 is at the top of the food chain. I think better than anybody else. And there's other companies producing stuff, but man, Prime1 Studio has it really well done. They know how to deliver on those characters. And here you can see now with the holding that, the sword, and then you did different stands for the other portraits. That is cool. You can see also the cape is made out of fabric, is detachable for those who really love that. Although I think you need to display this with the cape. Here's the light up feature. Not too big, but it's just to, you know, for the symbol. Really cool. Here you see that the height of that's 121 centimeters, really tall. Definitely, there's a huge piece. Bloody, of course, this as always is. For Prime1 Studio, they're not afraid to show the gore. 140 pictures on this, and there's different faces. This is this is my favorite, the Maniac Superpower Unleash face. I think that's my favorite there. Look at that. And here's the Rage edition, because they also have this other, which is coming soon. This is just the Unleashed version doesn't have, but the Rage edition is going to have this extra mask. I don't know if it's going to be any difference. And that's something that I can complain about it, because if this is coming very soon, it's going to be anything in between, because you also want to have that extra portrait. So to me, feel that, I don't know, that's something that some people, I can see already some complaints about it, because this is just a more tame version. But if you want to have the extra portrait, unless they decide to sell it separate, like they have done in the past with like a bus or something, which is something kind of stupid at the same time. But Prime1 Studio has been doing, I've been critical about it. We're going to talk about it a little bit in just a moment. But that is definitely, I like this, the whole concept here. Really nice done. And we only like 70 pictures in and halfway through. Very cool concept for sure. I don't know, guys. I'm telling you, this is a very cool piece. Look at that. Man. Yeah. It's awesome. Look at that. That's the basis that you use, those stands for the heads, which I like. I wish more companies would give you more stands now, because where you're supposed to put the stuff. Sometimes, you know, like that's what I'm concerned about the Superman now with the Twitter head. I have like now 3 extra heads and I don't know where to put them. At least I want to have it up close. I think like have to have like a tiny little stand. I have to come up with an idea. And I have other statues also, they need that. But I'm telling you, really cool. So I think most of these pictures are the same, almost at the end. So let's just finish them. Look at that base, how gory with those eyes. Nice picture. This, I like the angles of this lighting. Look at that base, gory for sure. Look at that. That's a bloody. Even in the cave, there's some like blood and gore, all that. Interesting. So we'll see what happens when they release the next version, and people will complaining, and people are gonna make videos about it too. So that's how it is. All right. So now I want to talk about other thing that that actually XM has been, XM Prime1 has been doing that people are really are very critical about is this editions that they're doing. For example, they got this reverse Red Dead. Of course, we already have Red Dead. We talk about it, that I think it's a fantastic piece. There's the exclusive version, there's the regular version. Now they have, according to this, because of the 10th anniversary, they have the pretty much the golden version, limited to only 250. So it's a repaint. So I know, I totally understand companies trying to do special editions, but what to me gets to me is that it's actually company coming back to these editions in the aftermath, which a lot of people find that very tacky, because they feel like, man, yes, this is not like the other ones. It's not like you're getting the same thing. On this one, you get in like a very special edition thing, but it's kind of the same, a little bit tacky in the sense that you know, they're bringing the same thing. They're trying to make money out of something by telling you, oh, we have something super special and more collectible than what you already have. And, you know, for some people that matters because they want to have the ultimate thing, you know, like, because ultimately they feel that if they go for the exclusive version, then they have the ultimate thing. And all of a sudden you have something that is even more limited than the limited stuff that they, at the beginning, they showcase as the only limited thing. So technically you jump the train to add, or to jump on in the line to add something that hasn't been delivered. They haven't delivered yet the others, and they jump the line to bring something that is even more exclusive. And I think that is not good, because most people want to have, they want the exclusive things first. They want to have the most important things first and then bring what's next, or the more regular version. And that's how they want things to set up. And to be honest with you, this piece is new, and to me it's like, yeah, they're gonna do the 10-year anniversary thing. They should give that treatment to pieces that are really sold out, pieces that are long gone perhaps. Not something that is on pre-order that hasn't been delivered. And I have talked about it before. I think that in this one, Prime1 Studio is becoming a bit cocky with it. You know, they're cocky with the whole thing, and they have to be very careful, because what they're doing is rubbing feathers. They're rubbing people the wrong way, and people don't like that. They feel that, okay, now you misled me. I've been misled to believe that you're selling something special, but down the road you're gonna repaint it and sell it even more limited in quantity number. The number is gonna be more limited, and then you're gonna call it that that's the ultimate thing, or that's a special edition because of that or that, and people don't feel that that's the right thing. That also decreases the value of your collectibles in the long run. To read the story, I heard real good things. I'm talking about the Berserk. Yeah, it's a long run. I'm telling you, it's long. It's long. I have read not all of it, but I've read much of it. And it's really long and convoluted for sure. But you have to start from the beginning. Now, this is the swappable head parts. You know, it just says swap out. I still think that the other one is better. But for those who like ultimate things, by all means, they call it the reversing, but it is the same thing. It's just repainted and 10th anniversary, whatever. But I just feel that it's definitely kind of like, some people will consider it shady, and definitely looks shady. Now they have this other, which I don't know the difference here. Like, this is the Joker. This is the limited version, and I don't know what's limited about it. I think there's a video somebody talking about it, but to me, what is limited about it? Limited to 1,000 pieces, $299. They already have this one. Did you? I don't know. At this point, this is another, but it's limited to 1,000. There's nothing limited about 1,000 pieces. There's nothing limited about it. You know, like, that is just like a regular edition for most companies. Even some companies nowadays, they only do 400 or 500, 600. Some of the Kotobukiya stuff they have is only 600. So I don't know what the heck they mean by limited. So 1,000 pieces, that's nothing limited. That's just a second edition of the one they already were selling. And to reflect the genius, the permitted hit ledger interpretation of the Joker, Prime1 Studio reveals the latest offering. Coming in a 10-inch tall, Prime1 Studio Joker bust captures the essence of hit ledgers as the Joker more than ever before. In this version, limited to 1,000 pieces, which is, there's no limited number there. That's a really large number. Half of Heath Ledger's face continues to have his Joker makeup, while the left half of his face reveals the incredible actor underneath. The subtle and reverential painting style that Blue has achieved humanizes the villain in a manner never before seen. Which is cool, but at the same time, to be honest with you, you don't need it. You know, like, okay, this is just like, they just simply left one side unpainted, but it's not even the Heath Ledger's face. I don't know. It's just it's a gimmick. To me, that's gimmicky. Okay, yeah, and the left half of his face is not painted. To me, it's gimmicky. You know, it's gimmicky. It's unlimited. It's not limited. That is unlimited. When you have 1,000 busts like this, there's nothing limited about this bust. It's nothing limited. I know it's gonna sell because a lot of people, you know, there's Kid Ledger Joker's fans, and to be honest, it doesn't surpass the previous bust. I think go for the other bust. Matter of fact, let's look at the other bust. This is the one. This is the limited version. This is the regular version, which it has the full painted face. This one is limited also to 1,000 pieces. So you got 2,000 different versions. So they think like, I don't know, like I'm gonna have to reserve judgment on this one. No, this is the same one. I'm sorry. I was looking at the same thing. If you go to the regular version, oh, it's the same. So it's giving me, oh, the regular, it was $3,800 pieces. 3,800 pieces. Like, what the heck? Oh, wow. I'm sorry, but now you're gonna have 1,000 more, which are gonna devalue the ones you already have because they're gonna be more limited, and it's a 10-year anniversary. You know, I like Prime1 Studio. Don't get me wrong. I like the stuff they do, but to be, it's like they do this kind of stuff. Not necessarily the best thing in my opinion. Of course, some people gonna go for it. I just don't see the premium quality, and the paint job is just like half. They just didn't paint it, and it's the same sculpt, the same as before. It can be used also. Of course, you can use it as an accessory for the statue already with the butt, with the face, but I don't see the point. I think that's just, you don't need it. You don't need it unless you want the ultimate thing. Right? Some people do, and you want to be a sucker for it. By all means, you know, just don't see it. I don't see the point. It doesn't even. The difference is so minimal. The only thing is just the only difference is on the paint. That's it. That's all it is. The sculpt is the same. The fully painted is better, in my opinion. So I don't know. I gotta be honest with you. I'm not impressed with this one, and I gotta be honest with you. As much as I defend Prime1 Studio, and as you know, I've defended them for a long time, I found this action gimmicky. I found it very gimmicky. I don't think that's necessary. That it enhances any value or gives more value to your statues. I know, particularly, I understand if it's gonna give value, if there's a very limited number, only 250, for example, you know, of those busts, then just limit, and it's gonna sell quick. But when you have 1,000 and call it limited version, there's nothing limited. Just because it's less, a third less than the other one, the original doesn't make it more limited, you know, because you're still talking about thousands of pieces out there, you know, for the same thing. So it's not limited. I will say that this is the thing I will say with Prime1 Studio. They need to tread carefully because there's a lot of stuff that they put on pre-order and they come up with the special editions of this and that when they haven't even delivered on the first thing. So, you know, I know it's all about making money, and as some people, they jump into something because of the hype, and hype really matters to a lot of people. But you have to be careful not to let that hype to kind of to blind you to start just buying stuff left and right that actually have no value. And that is the case here. I don't see the value. I don't see the thing in these repaints. They're doing away with the aftermarket in some way, yes, but at the same time, this is the thing. This is something that you have to be extremely careful with this point. And I feel that sometimes I feel people justify, say, well, it's a, you know, they you know, the aftermarket, they're gonna take advantage of things. Now they flooding something. But to be honest with you, once you're having this amount of pieces produced, you know, then you shouldn't be selling something for $299, an extra head. That's all it is, with a little bus. You should be selling that for a lot less because you already have a big number of pieces, because the more you produce, the cheaper something is. But they still keep it on the high price. And at the end of the day, a company is not there to police. You know, that's something that I can say, and I learned over the years. Companies are not, sometimes companies, they want to get into the police business. They want to get into policing other companies for doing what they're supposed to do. And that is wrong. It is wrong because, you know, they're not, you know, the job of a company is to produce something to sell to the public, and whatever people do with their money, whatever they do with this collectibles is in their business. Ultimately, the title of this company, or the title of this person, is collectibles. They're collectibles. That means they have collectible value. They have to gain value. So if you promote something as a collectible, then you have to be careful not to just keep reproducing or rebranding or redoing the same thing over and over, because then you actually taking away the collectible value and you're selling something for mere cheap. And in many ways, that's just false advertisement. You know, if you're making decorations, then by all means, but trying to just sell something as a collectible when there's no collectible value attached to it, that is a really dangerous proposition for most companies. Hey, JP, this is doing away with the aftermarket. Good point. JP, any advice on how to fix a weak magnet on a statue? Oh, wow. By replacing the magnet. That's the only way you can do it. Like, for example, something that I have done with some pieces where they have, like, if you feel, like, sometimes it's not the magnet. Let's say that you have a magnet into a socket. You put like a little piece into a socket. One thing you can do, it's maybe put something in there. Like I used to do that with some pieces. I will just add a little piece of paper. So when you attach something, it goes in. Let me give you, yeah, Tiki Taki. You can use that. You can use something just to kind of glue it. Well, or something that in there that it actually kind of put it in between through the spaces. I'll give you an idea, for example. Let me see if I can get. All right, my friends. Here you have Captain America. All right, here you have the Wolverine from Kotobukiya right there. Let's say sometimes like this has a strong magnets, which I like. But let's say it doesn't have a strong magnet and you see the hole. You can put something in there just to kind of, because if it's too loose, sometimes this can be kind of loose. Like you can see they're kind of loose. What I do sometimes, I add something in there in between. Like I put like a piece of paper or like, I don't know, toilet paper or whatever. And then you just put it there in the center and it tight so it's so tight so it's going nowhere. So you can add something just to kind of, because sometimes what happens is not the magnet, it's just it's so much space in between. When they did the, when they were actually cleaning all the stuff after it was printed and they were doing the cleanup inside, they cleaned up more than they should have. So now you only have a tiny little thing holding much weight. So the best thing is just to do that. Now, if the magnet is too small or if the magnet is too weak for something that is too heavy, then you would have to do some change. That you have to maybe change the magnet, which actually you can find different magnets and you can actually replace them yourself. You just remove the one and just glue the other. Although it's a lot of work, if you don't feel like that's when you have to customize it. But other than that, if you're not going to be, some people do even glue the stuff, you know, if they feel that you're not going to be removing it constantly, then just might as well just do it. That's just an idea. It's not necessarily something that you got to do. You know, sometimes you have to kind of play with things in order to find the best thing, you know, just to find solution to a problem. And I have solved problems with a lot of things just by playing with things around. And I've been able to solve certain problems because I used to have some such as with the bonus, and sometimes some of the magnets weren't as strong as some things. Okay, I think I'm coming here. All right, take away the value. Yeah, that's going back to what I was saying. You know, this is the thing. You know, a company labels themselves a collectible company, like Sideshow Collectibles. It says Sideshow Collectibles. So what they sell are collectibles, things that people buy because they have value. Of course, Sideshow has changed that policy. They do different things. The problem always with that is that now you're selling a lot of items that don't gain any value, and they just trinkets, you know, like people have. And when you're really spending that much money into someone, Prime1, which are top of the line, and now they reproducing things over and over, or they doing this special edition this or special edition that for pieces that haven't even been released yet, then you're actually taking away the value of the original stuff that was exclusive, or the bonus versions that came out first, that you prompted people to buy because this is the bonus. If you buy it now, you get this special thing. People went thinking, okay, this is gonna be the most collectible one. This is gonna be the most special one, the one that has more value. So they go for that one first. They pre-order it first, and they wait for a year. They haven't waited anything, and all of a sudden, Prime1 has another version that supposedly is more collectible, more limited. That is bad. That is bad for business. That is, you know, really hurts your reputation, because now you're not looking. You don't care for the collector. You care about you. That's it. You care about making more money out of these pieces, and that comes across as very tacky, very greedy, insensitive. And I think that's something that the companies, they need to watch out, because a lot of these companies are falling prey for this idea. And yes, I understand it's about making money, but try to do it in a tasteful way. Try to do it in a way that is not hurting other people. Like that bus, they don't need it in that bus. They don't need it. They what they need to do is concentrate on trying to get the stuff done and deliver, so people are happy, so they can continue producing more stuff, newer stuff, instead of just rehashing ideas they already have. To me, there's no point on getting that bus. There was no point on getting the first bus, but now it's even worse, and there's no point. And I don't think it looks even great. It's not even movie accurate. It's just, oh, this is, and they come up with this explanation. It's because half of the actor, you can see his face, and that it's just a bunch of baloney. It's just, that's all it is. You know, it is. It's just trying to sell something else, because they need to make money without just killing it. You know, so they're doing that. That really shows also that and perhaps they're lacking ideas, or they're lacking the money to invest into new things. Who knows? And Prime1 has money. It's just the way they're doing it is not necessarily the most professional way. But it makes no sense. It doesn't make any sense to me. All right, let's look at this. To say what's up, JP. Have a good night. Thank you, Batman. Thank you, my dear friend. Thank you very much. And thank you always for being there on Instagram. Always saying hello. I appreciate it. So this is my opinion. I'm not here to denigrate Prime1 Studio. That's their business. If people feel that this is something that they gotta do, but don't jump on it. Don't jump on, like, you know, obstacles for it, because 1,000 bus, I'm sorry, it's gonna be sitting there on their, they're gonna even sit on their clearance sale down the road, because it's already, even the first bus that is super large still there. This one is gonna even kill the value of the first one. So what's the point? What's the point? That's the way I see it. To me, that is the question. That is what I'm thinking. What is the point of having that if it doesn't have any value? It doesn't add any value to your collectible. It doesn't. Just stick with the regular statue, and that's about it. All right. There was something else that I wanted to mention, and I forgot. Oh, yes. Something that just came to mind, and I want to talk about it, because I think something that came to mind and I forgot about it, and I want to talk about it because it came today, and I'm gonna come to Facebook. Let me do some research here first, and has caused a little bit of controversy, definitely, among a lot of people, and also people are gonna make videos out of it, and they're gonna talk about it. I don't even know. I think they had it at some point, and I think perhaps they move it. Hold on. I think probably they put it. They took this down. But I'm gonna come here. I'm coming to Facebook, and I'm gonna come to the Brotherhood of the Bad Collectibles, because that's the one I remember. Here, right here, there was an announcement. Chris Michael actually, this was from Hot Toys. Oh, okay, this was the announcement that happened on Instagram. On Instagram, they posted this, which is Toys Wonderland Limited. This Toys Wonderland, for those who are familiar, Toys Wonderland, it's a Hong Kong-based company that is a reseller. It's been in business for a long time. They resell a lot of action figures. That's what they do. And particularly with Hot Toys. And they distribute for a lot of parts of the world. They're very competitive with the prices. They've been in business for a while. But they are started by collectors trying to secure some pieces to sell around the world. And in Europe, particularly, they do a lot of stuff in Europe and other parts of the world, even US. They've been in business for a while, and they have a reputation. Some channels here, like Justin's, I think, Collection, I think that's what it's called, one of the channels, and some other people promote this company. they're resellers. That's what they are. That means that they buy from the factories, they buy from the company in bulk, so they get special discounts because they buy in bulk even from the company, and they resell, you know, and they're very competitive. The prices are technically the same as what you pay. You pay a little extra sometimes, but because they are directly in Hong Kong, which is actually Hot Toys base, they get the figures in time and they're able to sell them to other parts of the world. So some people like to go to Toys Wonderland because they get them faster. And here in United States, because Sideshow says distributor, official distributor, then of course they get the pieces, but sometimes you have to wait. They come out in Asia before they come out here. But even in Asia, some countries, they don't get the first dips. You know, they don't get that because they're not important, like Malaysia or countries like Singapore, or even countries like Thailand. They don't, Philippines, they don't get the first dips. They have to wait even longer than us. So Toys Wonderland is an awesome place to go and buy from them. Now, this is the announcement that Hot Toys did on Instagram. Toys Wonderland Limited is not and has not been Hot Toys' wholesale partner, distributor, or dealer. It has recently come to Hot Toys' attention, which is it's a lie because they've been knowing from Toys Wonderland for years that Toys Wonderland Limited is, without Hot Toys' consent, promoting, marketing, and selling of Toys collectibles globally via Toys Wonderland Limited official website and online channels under and by reference to Hot Toys trademarks and copyrighted works, online images, and contents. And Toys Wonderland Limited intentionally misled Hot Toys collectors into believing that its sales of Hot Toys collectibles is endorsed or associated with Hot Toys, which is beyond the honest practices in industrial commercial matters under the law. We advise our collectors to purchase Hot Toys collectibles directly from Hot Toys official channels, which in this case go through Sideshow, go through others. Now, this is very dubious from Hot Toys because even though they're talking about that they don't endorse Toys Wonderland, they've been selling to Toys Wonderland, or they've been doing, or something, you know, they know of Toys Wonderland for a long time. There's something that they're not telling us here, because the truth of the matter that they say, you know, we're not linked to them, we don't endorse them, blah blah blah, but there's no legal lawsuit. They're not selling. Like, for example, it's like you are suing somebody for going on eBay and selling something on eBay of, let's say, a product. You know, in eBay, people buy and sell stuff. I sold stuff on eBay all the time. I don't do that as much, but I sell stuff sometimes on eBay. So now you're saying that I'm not linked to you, I'm not associated with you because I'm selling something. Like, I sold Sideshow stuff in the years ago. Does that make me not a distributor, an official distributor? I'm not an official distributor. I'm a reseller. I'm a person that is selling something. So what they were saying, that is technically them, they're not official, they're not linked to them, whatever, blah blah blah. I think that the situation here is more Hot Toys. There was some type of maybe misunderstanding, something in between them. Maybe Hot Toys wanted a bigger cut or something. They didn't want to sell to them. Ultimately, they saying, we don't have nothing to do with them. Don't go with them. Go to the direct channels, which is going through Sideshow. It's going through them and officially there in Hong Kong. But that was kind of like scummy, in my opinion. But this is the response that actually Toys Wonderland, which again, it's just an online store. Toys Wonderland responded on their page, and they have like 11,000 people. They not only sell for Hot Toys, although here you can see they have the figures, but also they sell from other companies. For Queen Studios, they resell from a lot of companies over there. They sell anything else. Hot Toys has been much of their bread and butter, but they sell a lot of things. Now here this says, dear collectors, we have received numerous messages from customers who are worried their order status after Hot Toys posted an announcement of their story post today. While we do not want to take up any more of your time, we do feel it's necessary to answer some of your questions promptly. The two main questions we have noticed following the post are as follows, and along with it, our response. First, is Hot Toys shutting down Hot Toys Wonderland with lawsuits and legal action? Toys Wonderland operates as a reseller. We have never claimed to be an official distributor for Hot Toys. We have a list of companies we supply products for officially, and Hot Toys is not a distributable accent from this list. We are acting with our legal rights to resell Hot Toys figures that we ourselves own outright. Again, they buy this stuff so they can resell it. Therefore, no, Toys Wonderland is not being and won't be shut down. Now, number two, will not Hot Toys stop you from getting stuck to supply your orders? We shop for Hot Toys products in the same manner as any normal customer in Hong Kong would. Of course, this is they can go and buy from other people. We also procure from the open market, which the open market is technically when they sell in bulk, in something that Hot Toys does through different channels. Hot Toys has no jurisdiction to prevent us from purchasing products in the open market. Also, you know, you can buy from other people. They buy used stuff and they resell stuff. They'll do that as well. We want to assure you that every single order and pre-order that you made for Hot Toys products through Hot Toys Wonderland is 100% secure. You will receive your order. We will continue to monitor collectors' questions, and if required, we will make future posts to provide clarity for them, as we have done here. Apologies for adding fuel to the fire. However, we wanted to make sure you all know there is no need to be concerned. We will continue to ship your orders. Happy collecting. Which I think that was a very smart way for Toys Wonderland. Now, for those who are unfamiliar, you have never heard of Toys Wonderland, I'll take you to in this case to the website right here, Toys Wonderland. This is the place. This is the, you know, this is a good place where you can find all sort of figures. They sell from all different brands, and of course, you know, Hot Toys is one of them. You see, you have a lot of Hot Toys figures, but also they sell for So-So Toys. And they sell for a lot of things. And of course, they say that they've been promoting it, but technically what they're doing is just reselling the products. That's all they're doing. And of course, they have this Hot Toys, which is a big bulk of it. One of the reasons why a lot of people come to them, Toys Wonderland, is because they have a lot of Hot Toy stuff. However, that doesn't mean that they're doing something unnecessary or legal or not doing. Also, they sell Prime1 Studio, they from other companies. So they have a lot of things. And Justin's Collection, that's the name of this guy. So they will continue to sell and resell. You know, that's just bottom line. They don't need permission to resell. And that's something that I can tell you. A lot of these companies, there's a lot of politics in these companies, which is sad. There's a lot of control. And I'm sure that I wouldn't be surprised. It is the case of Sideshow, that because Toys Wonderland has been doing really great. And there's been a lot of YouTubers that are actually promoting this company and this to buy through them. Then Sideshow is known for doing this, as technically Sideshow is the only distributor that they have, you know, officially, internationally. So Sideshow's always been known for trying to shut other companies down or other sellers down for this or for that. They have done that in the past. There's nothing new from Sideshow doing this. So I wouldn't be surprised if Sideshow feels like, okay, they're taking away from them, so they're going to try to shut it down. It's all about politics, about who pays this or who pays that. Now, the thing is this. You know, if you don't feel comfortable buying into Toys Wonderland, don't do it. I'm not saying that you should do it. It's just a way to procure some pieces. And believe me, there's a lot of pieces that they are completely sold out. Older pieces, Inner Bay pieces, all the companies that you will not find anywhere else. Toys Wonderland might be able to help you out. So at the end of the day, it's just a matter. You go and you spend your money wherever you want to go. You feel comfortable. Now, Toys Wonderland has been in business for a while, and a lot of people have bought through them, and they haven't had any issues with it. And they're able to get pieces or toys and Hot Toy stuff before other places in the world. If they want to keep doing it, that's up to them. You know, as a reseller, as a store, they can do whatever they want to do. If they're able to buy the products and resell them, more power to them. So I don't there's a big deal. And I wanted to talk about it because you know, it kind of became a little bit of a situation today. There was a lot of talks about it, and I'm sure there's going to be videos from some YouTubers in regards to it if you're into the figure world, if you're into the 1/6 scale collections. Well, my friends, this is it. Definitely we have a lot to talk. I'm going to wait a few minutes. Well, if you have anything to say while we say goodbye to this, I want to say thank you very much for your support. Thank you for, you know, sticking with me and being supportive. It is always awesome. I really enjoy having the opportunity to have these conversations with you and these videos. It's awesome. Sometimes they take longer, almost 3 hours here, which is a long time. But definitely we cover everything in the collectibles world that I wanted to talk about, and everything that was important this week. And we'll see what happens next week. And definitely this weekend I'm going to have time trying to enjoy a little bit, watch some movies. There's a lot of stuff that I want to watch. Some series that I'm still watching. Vox Machina, I want to finish it. Also, there's some stuff on Netflix that I want to watch. And of course, I want to watch the Prey movie on Hulu. So there's a lot of things that I want to watch this weekend. And maybe I'll work on that Superman review too. I need to do that. The same to you, Late Night Trip. Thank you. Have a great weekend. I hope the best for you. All of you. So let me drink this and... Really looking at the stuff here. I'm just typing this. All right. Now, before I go, I want to say, now coming to the conclusion, total to finalize the whole thing and just to saying goodbye. Will you be pre-ordering the crypto to go with Superman? To be honest with you, I thought about it, but I'm not so sure if I want to do it. I like the crypto though. I may down the road I might get it, but it's not like a priority because I have other priorities right now with my collectibles. Like I already have Jon Stewart paid. I already have Wonder Woman paid. I already have Flash paid. But I'm really interested on the Batman and the Aquaman, which I'm assuming that is gonna go pretty soon, and also on He-Man Master of the Universe, and definitely that one is gonna take me a while because I was on the payment plan. I had to put on the payment plan. So it's other things that I'm eyeballing right now. So I'm trying to measure myself because I don't want to go into something and then I kind of feel that it was the bad choice or it was too much for me to bite. So I'm gonna wait and perhaps I get it. I'm sure it's gonna be available at some point. Even the regular, I think it's a regular version. There's no exclusive on it, so we'll see. But for the time being, I'm okay without it. Show JP, and you're gonna love Prey. You think? Some of my friends are loving it. I seen some people that they don't like it. Some friends that I have too, they say, well, they don't like it. But man, I'm all for it. I want some action this weekend. I want to watch some action. Now there's another movie on that I was started to watch with my wife. I think it's on, what is that, on Netflix? And I started watching with my wife, and before she was watching it, and I want to watch it, and it's with Ana de Armas, and what's the name? Also with it's on Netflix. Let me see if I can find it here. Well, The Sandman also just came. So I want to check it out. I think Uncharted, which I watched and I wasn't crazy about it, came out too. There's a few things I want to watch, man. I want to, like, Peaky Blinders. People have been talking about that show. I want to really look at that. The Gray Man. I want to watch it. I started watching that. Oh man, that kind of like, I want to watch some action. I want some action stuff. You saw it last night. I want to watch it. I want to see how it is. Definitely this weekend I have a lot of stuff to watch, and maybe I'll work on that Superman review because I gotta work on other reviews too that I already have. But my friends, I want to say thank you, and I appreciate your support. You know, I appreciate that you take the time. At the end of the day, Collectibles is all about having fun. And I know sometimes people take it as technically almost as a day job. You know, like everything. They worry about this, they worry about that. Don't worry about those things. Just enjoy. You know, with this, you don't have to get involved in everything. You know, there's a solution to every problem. Just enjoy it. You know, don't let this frustrate you, because sometimes it's so easy to get frustrated with this and you lose sight of what's important in life, you know. And ultimately, this is just a pastime. This is just a hobby. This is not your life. My friends, God bless you. Take care. Have a great night, and I'll see you on the next video. Stay tuned for those videos, for those reviews, but also on the next live video next Friday. Take care, my friends. Thank you, JFR. Thank